The shortstop will bat first. Owen Fuller playing second base will bat second. David Horn, the designated hitter, will bat third. Andrew Lamb, the right fielder tonight, will bat fourth. Dominic Smaldino playing first base will bat fifth. Ricky Rodenberg, the left fielder, will bat sixth. As Brandon Chang moves to center field, he will bat seventh. J.J. Hollis, the third baseman, will bat eighth. And Matt Champion, your starting pitcher tonight, will bat ninth. Once again, for the Lions, as Matt Orloff once again meeting with head coach Eric Borba, the Lancers at home plate to go over ground rules. It'll be Fujiwara, Fuller, Horn, Lamb, Smaldino, Rodenberg, Chang, Hollis, and Champion. 8 of those 9 were in the starting lineup last night. They've just made a few changes. We'll go over those, as the game progresses. And lastly, for the Lions, their defensive specialist tonight will be the catcher, sophomore Charlie Caruso. So he will play the field, but he will not be in the lineup here tonight. Now for the Lancers, under 14th-year head coach Eric Borba, their lineup looks like this tonight. Derek Curiel, the center fielder, will bat first. Mikey Romero, the shortstop, batting second. Casey Borba, the third baseman, will bat third. Gabe Miranda, your cleanup man, he is playing first base tonight. Brian Martinez in right field will bat fifth. Ben Ryland in left field will bat sixth. Sawyer Vortman, your designated hitter, will bat seventh. Carson Bowen will bat eighth. He's playing catcher tonight. And Chase Cummings will bat ninth. He is playing second base. Absolutely no changes whatsoever for the Lancers heading into this one, except for the man on the hill, who will be Oliver Santos. So once again, for the Lancers, their lineup tonight: Curiel, Romero, Borba, Miranda, Martinez, Ryland, Vortman, Bowen, and Cummings. Well, once again, we had a chance to catch up with Sawyer Vortman before the start of the game tonight. Vortman comes in starting 6 out of 7 games this year as the designated hitter, and he's really hit his way into the lineup. He's collected base hits in 4 of his 5 starts so far this season, including an eventual game-winning RBI in the season opener against Gar. A great kid who has stuck with it here at Orange Lutheran and has earned his way into the starting lineup on a nightly basis. And without further ado, we'll get to him. Here is Sawyer Vortman on the Lancers pregame show. Lancers senior, we'll call you utility player, Sawyer Vortman. Sawyer, obviously, this being your senior year, you had some experience your junior season kind of as a reserve player. What did you see in the players last year? Obviously, a lot of accomplishments, getting to the semifinals in CIF and the regionals. What did some of those seniors teach you last year that you've been able to use at the beginning of your senior campaign?
Honestly, some of the stuff that I've learned is just keep going. Like, sometimes it's going to be rough, but I mean, whether you either go at it or you just walk away from it. So it's a little fight or flight thing. So always just keep fighting for your spot. And even if some people don't believe in you, just keep going.
Well, so far that's worked out pretty well for you this season. You've had 5 starts out of 6 games. You've had hits in 4 of those games. Game number 1, immediately you were put to the test. I believe you were in the number 9 spot in the lineup for that game. Ended up getting what it was the eventual game-winning run, or I'm sorry, the game-winning RBI, I should say. But being tested that early, being kind of thrown into it that early, and getting that result, how much does that help your confidence moving forward?
It definitely helped my confidence a lot. I was a little nervous going into it. I had one at bat last year, but it was kind of an easy at bat. But going into it, knowing to face some good pitchers, confidence was a little iffy, but once it started, I got pretty good, and then it was fun being able to face all those good pitchers.
And you've been, again, just kind of continuing that trend any way possible. I think you had a bunt single against Carroll High School for that 3rd hit. You're also a pitcher on the mound. We've seen you for a couple innings last year. What's your primary position? I mean, we've seen you in left field. We've seen you on the mound. Now you're the designated hitter. I mean, what role do you feel most comfortable in, if any?
Honestly, throughout all the years, I played everything besides shortstop. So I think my favorite's outfield, just be able to run out there and be able to have your room. But I would say secondary would probably be pitcher.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. And, I don't know if you've been able to discuss that role with your coaches this year, but is there a chance that we get to see you on the mound maybe a little bit later this season?
Yeah, it's possible. If they need me in games, I'm definitely ready. I've been throwing a lot of pins, so if you guys need me, I'll be there. Yeah.
What does it feel like, again, speaking of that confidence and being able to contribute in a multitude of ways, just having that versatility, how much, in terms of being a teammate, how does that make you feel?
Kind of having both sides of it. I'm able to see, know what a pitcher's going to throw usually, just be able to have that pitcher standpoint in the back of my head, but being able to let people know, hey, I've seen this guy before and I know what his stuff does, like, and especially from pitcher standpoint, you definitely know where it's going to go and stuff like that.
And being with this senior class, obviously every senior's called on for leadership. Describe what that role means to you and how you try to display that for this team.
I just try to be a great guy all around, kind of just lift guys up when they're down, because I know baseball's a hard sport. You're going to fail 7 out of the 10 times, but just let those guys know it's going to be okay, and it's a sport.
Yeah. You had a chance to kind of talk about some of your some of what motivates you on the field. They did a video that was displayed right before the start of last night's game. Take me through that process and what that was like for you, being able to do that with guys like Mikey Romero and JD Rodriguez. Being able to answer questions, seeing yourself on camera. What was that like for you?
I was a little weird. I've never really been in a spot like this. I mean, all throughout the years, I kind of just been a small kid and just going through it. But this year, I finally keep going, and it's pretty nice to be able to be in this spot right now.
Yeah. Once again, we're here with Sawyer Vortman, a senior on this year's Lancer team. Just a couple more questions. You talked early on about having that, kind of that never give up mentality, keep going. Does it feel inspirational to be able to say that you kept that momentum going forward, and now you've got this spot on this team when it comes to the younger players? If somebody else is in a similar situation, have you been able to try to lift them up and do that same thing?
Yeah, I've definitely already had a couple of the freshmen and sophomores be able to come up with me, a little scared about their seasons, but I just let them know, like, just have fun with it. It's going to be a sport at the end of the day, but be able to have fun and be able just to realize what your position is going to be and what your spot on the team is going to be.
Right. And you being so versatile, was there anything that you focused on more than anything else in the off season and prepping for this year?
I just kept working in the cage. I thought I could be a good hitter this year, and last year really didn't seem like that. I was just a PO, but kind of just worked my way up into it, hit every day, and just went at it.
Yeah. Now, one of the questions, you're uncommitted at this point. It sounds like there are schools looking at you. Does that put a little bit more weight on your shoulders during your senior season? Is that something that crosses your mind, or are you solely focused right now on just being the best version of you on the field?
Off the field a little bit, but once I put the cleats on and get on that field, I just let everything go. I know there's going to be people here for a lot of other kids here, so I just treat it like there's no one in the stands, be able to have fun with my boys.
Absolutely. You never know. You might impress one of them and something might come out of that. Yeah. So last question for me. I kind of overheard the discussion you were having with your teammates in the dugout here. You were talking about sauces, Chick-fil-A sauces, In-N-Out, and Raisin Canes. What's the sauce to go with, and who of your teammates has the weirdest sauce that they love so much?
I think I'd go with Canes just because I've ate it so much, kind of just become my hometown sauce, I guess you could say. But I would say Mikey has the weirdest sauce. He has this like avocado lime from Chick-fil-A.
Okay.
Never heard of it. He's brought it to my attention. I'll maybe try it once or twice.
You never know. It might turn you around, and now he's pushing that, just keep moving forward and get people on his train. Yeah. So you never know. Sawyer, thank you so much for the time. Really appreciate it. Glad to see you're having the success early this season, and can't wait to see how it continues to develop. Best of luck.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Beautiful rendition of the Star Spangled Banner to kick us off here tonight. Game number 2 between Orange Lutheran and J Serra just about set to get underway here tonight. Orange Lutheran wearing their home white uniforms with the red L on the left side of the chest, red numbers on the front and back, white pants with the high red socks and the red cleats. On the other side for the Lions, it's the same uniforms they wore last night, the black jerseys with the maroon sleeves. Maroon Lions written across the shoulders on the back, J Serra on the front, and maroon numbers on the front and back with the white pinstripe pants for J Serra here tonight. And once again, these two teams continuing their rivalry here in 2022. 9-0 the victory for Orange Lutheran last night. See what happens here tonight in a bigger ballpark with the wind coming in from center field as Oliver Santos, the 6'3 left-handed senior, takes to the hill. He's had a good start to his senior campaign. He's tossed 10 innings of work so far this season to a 1-0 record. No ERA to speak of. He's allowed 5 hits, 20 strikeouts to 2 walks so far this season. His last start was a 4-inning performance against South Lake Carroll in which he gave up 4 hits and came away with the victory. I believe he struck out 7 in that contest as Luis Rodriguez came in to clean it up the final 3 innings to win that game by a final of 2-0. So Oliver Santos on the mound for the Lancers tonight. He'll face off against Lou Fujiwara, Owen Fuller, and David Horn to lead things off in the top of the first. And once again, a pleasure to catch up with Sawyer Vortman before the start of the game here tonight. Had to mess with him a little bit with the final question about his favorite Raisin Cane sauce. As there was a lively debate among teammates in the dugout right before we went off and conducted that question and answer. So happy that he had some fun with that, and again, just a pleasure to talk with him. An inspirational story about just continuing to grind and finally getting that spot in his senior season. So once again, Lou Fujiwara making the long round towards the right-handed batter's box as he will face off first here against Oliver Santos. Santos was at Mater Dei his freshman and sophomore seasons, was homeschooled last year, and opted to come to Orange Lutheran for his senior campaign. He's signed to play baseball at Duke University. And the left-hander kicks and deals to the right-handed Fujiwara. This one lifted into center field. Derek Curiel tracking it, and he will make the catch after ranging just a hair to his right for out number 1. So 1 pitch, 1 away. We are underway here in Orange on a chilly Wednesday evening here in Orange County.
Batting second baseman.
Nobody on, 1 out. Owen Fuller will be the next man up. He moves up a spot in the lineup, as does David Horn behind him. If anybody gets on base here in the top of the first, it'll be Andrew Lamb due up 4th. Again, for those of you who are listening to the game on Mixlr tonight and would like to watch it, we have live video to go with the call on YouTube. Just search the Coach's Radar, and you can watch the live stream of the game tonight with video as well, if that's what you'd prefer. Owen Fuller takes the first pitch a bit upstairs. The count 1 ball and no strikes. Santos, when he's comfortable, will work quickly. This one upstairs as well, 2-0. Scouts surrounding us behind the backstop, checking out Oliver Santos as he fires the first 3 pitches of the ball game. Owen Fuller, again in that number 3 spot last night. Ended up going 0 for 3 as that one is in there for a called strike on the outside edge. It's 2-1. Fuller again playing second base, a right-hander with an even stance. 2-1 offering is a bit upstairs. The count goes to 3-1. For the Lions last night, no runs on 4 hits, 2 errors. And they left 6 runners on base. Here comes the 3-1 offering. That one misses a bit upstairs, just above the letters. It's a 5-pitch walk to Owen Fuller. So the Lions have a base runner here, and that'll bring up David Horn. Well, Santos, when we spoke with him a couple of weeks ago, said he relishes these big game moments, and this would have to be one of them with the defending Trinity League champions coming into your home ballpark. Fuller over at first, 1 out. David Horn at the plate. Got the start last night, went 4 1/3 innings on the mound, had his fastball working around 91 to 93 miles per hour. Struggled to stay ahead of batters in that ball game, however, as the first pitch comes in. That fastball just misses low. It's 1-0. Came back to haunt him in the 5th inning as he was tagged for 3 runs in that frame and ultimately made his exit after 4 1/3, giving up 4 runs on 4 hits. He struck out 2 and walked 4. The free passes were an issue for J Serra last night. 3 pitchers combined to give up 11 walks against the Lancers. As this pitch comes in, check swing, and this one's fouled off. 1 ball and 1 strike. Horn is committed to Vanderbilt. And the senior checks in at 6'3", 205 pounds. In the right-handed batter's box, slightly open stance. Fuller gets the lead over at first. See if they put him in motion. Santos looking over at him. Out of the stretch, he fires to the plate. Curveball, this one lifted into center field. Drifting towards right center. Curiel tracking it down. He will camp under it and make the catch for the second out. Fuller will head back to first. And with 2 away and a runner at first, Andrew Lamb will be the next man up. So a couple of flyouts to start off here tonight and a walk mixed in for the Lions. Andrew Lamb moves up a spot as well into the cleanup role tonight. He batted 5th in last night's lineup. Collected 1 of the 4 J Serra hits. He went 1 for 3. Left-hander was also playing catcher last night. You've got him in right field here tonight as they move Charlie Caruso from left field to behind the batter's box. Or pardon me, behind the plate, I should say. As Santos will check over to Fuller, who slides back in safely. Again, J Serra 1-2 in their last 3. They defeated Great Oak on Saturday 5-1. They lost to Huntington Beach last week. Believe it was on Wednesday by a final of 4-1. Andrew Lamb calls for time. Lamb committed to USC, 6'1", 185 pounds. He's in his junior season. A little bit of a delayed leg kick. This one a line drive, just foul down the right field line. And Lamb will head back to the plate. Would have been at least runners on the corners, and with Fuller moving around, there's a possibility he could have come home on that. Count goes to 0-1. Good contact there from Lamb, just couldn't quite keep it fair as it hooked foul down the right field line. The left-hander has an even stance at the plate. Looking back at his head coach for the next sign, Brett Kay, back in the dugout here tonight. Had to miss the last couple of games, was a bit under the weather. But was a late addition, if you will, to the coaching staff here tonight. He got here probably about 15 minutes or so before first pitch. As this pitch comes in, another line drive down the right field line, and again just foul. That one might have clipped the umpire just behind Gabe Miranda, but he appears to be okay. Count goes to 0-2. So Lamb is seeing the ball well here out of Santos, but just getting ahead of it. And he finds himself in a hole. 2 outs, runner at first. Top of the first just underway here at Hart Park. No score. J Serra and OLU. If Andrew Lamb's able to get on base, Dominic Smaldino is on deck. Fuller getting a lead over there at first. Santos out of the stretch, fires to the plate. There goes Fuller. Fastball outside, throw down to second, and they got him. Tag on the right side of the bag, and Cummings able to bring the ball in and tag that. If Andrew Lamb's able to get on base, Dominic Smaldino is on deck. Fuller getting a lead over there at first. Santos out of the stretch, fires to the plate. There goes Fuller. Fastball outside, throw down to second, and they got him. Tag on the right side of the bag, and Cummings. Half an inning of play, no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base for Last year in the first game of the three-game series, his champion came on in relief of David Horn. I believe he gave up a couple of runs in 2 innings in that ball game. But again, he's got good stuff, fastball, curveball, and a changeup, and he will provide a test for this lineup here tonight. So again, champion will face off against Derek Curiel, Mikey Romero, and Casey Borba to start things off. And if anybody gets on base here in the bottom of the first, it'll be Gabe Miranda due up as well. While we have a moment, we'll also go over the dimensions here at Hart Park. 326 down the left field line, 356 with a heightened wall in left center, 392 to dead center, 376 to right center, and 328 down the right field line. At this park, the wind usually blows in. Tonight it's blowing a bit from left field towards the first base line, according to the Star Spangled Banner out there in right center. We've seen all of 1 home run hit here this season. So the Lancers have played 4 games here so far out of 6. Pardon me, 3 games out of 6 here at Hart Park. Gabe Miranda was the one who hit that homer against Ayala out to right center. Derek Curiel, another left-hander, will start things off here in the the bottom of the first as he moves up in the batter's box. Wide stance for the sophomore. Here comes the first pitch from Champion. And that one misses a bit low. The count is 1 ball and no strikes for Derek Curiel. Picked up his 4th hit of the year in last night's game. Also scored a run and drove in a run. He went 1 for 2 with a couple of walks to his line score as well. So the leadoff man for the Lancers getting on base 3 times as this one is popped up into right center field. And it looks like it will be the center fielder, Brandon Chang, calling off his right fielder and making the catch for out number 1. Good pitch there for Curiel to take a swing at, but got underneath of it. And with 1 out, nobody on, it'll be Mikey Romero due up next. Defensively for the Lions, Charlie Caruso, the sophomore, is behind the plate tonight. Dominic Smaldino, the junior, at first base. Senior Owen Fuller at second. Junior Lou Fujiwara at short. J.J. Hollis, the junior, at third. In left is Ricky Rodenberg. He's in his senior season. Brandon Chang, the junior, in center. And Andrew Lamb, the junior, starting in right field tonight for J Serra. First pitch on Romero is cut on and missed, and the count is 0-1. Romero started the game last night with a couple of groundouts, including 1 double play, but turned it around to pick up a base hit, a run, and a run batted in. He went 1 for 4. Tied for the team high with 7 hits this season in 6 games. The lefty takes this one a bit inside and evens up the count, 1 ball and 1 strike. Matt Champion on the mound in his sophomore season, a 6'1", 180-pound sophomore. He's verbally committed to LSU. So too is Mikey Romero. He's actually signed to play with the with LSU, as this one is grounded over towards first. Picked up by Smaldino, who will take it to the bag himself and retire Romero for out number 2. So good start for Champions so far here in the bottom of the first inning. 2 up, 2 down, and with nobody on, Casey Borba will make his way to the plate. Again, these 2 teams were in a 1-0 ball game going into the 5th inning last night when it started to unravel a bit for J Serra. Tonight could also be a low-scoring affair given the field and the 2 teams who are playing, especially with the pitching on the mound. Here comes the first pitch on Casey Borba. It's a fastball that hits the outside edge for a strike, and it's 0-1. Borba 0 for 3 with a walk in last night's game. Did not factor into the scoring. Looking to get back in the hit column here tonight as he bats in the number 3 spot. Right-hander, the first one in the lineup for the Lancers, as the 0-1 pitch hits the outside edge at the knees for a called strike. Borba has a bit of an extended look back to the home plate umpire after that call, but he's down 0-2. Borba 6'1" in his junior season. Verbally committed to the University of Texas. Be a Longhorn in a couple of years. They were ranked #1 in the college rankings, but they lost to UCLA and Houston recently. As this one, a curveball just misses low and inside. A check swing. He did not go around as they appeal down to first. And the count goes to 1-2. Gabe Miranda on deck. Should Borba get on base? We're in the bottom of the first with 2 outs. Nobody on here for Orange Lutheran, a scoreless ball game. Champion poised. Stands tall on the mound. Peers over the glove. Here comes the pitch. And that breaking ball skips just inches away there from his catcher, Charlie Caruso. And the count goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Again, as we mentioned last night, this is the only Trinity League series this week. The other 4 teams, Servite, Santa Margarita, St. John Bosco, and Mater Dei, will begin their Trinity League campaigns next week. They are playing some non-league games this week as well. Here comes the 2-2. This one lifted out towards right center. This will be Andrew Lamb tracking it back. Turns around at the wall, or pardon me, a few feet in front of the warning track, and he makes the catch for out number 3. So 3 up and 3 down for Orange Lutheran here in the bottom of the first. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. We're through 1 inning of play here. Top of the second inning we go here at Hart Park. No score between Orange Lutheran and J Serra. The Lions in this inning will send up the middle of the order against Oliver Santos. It'll be Andrew Lamb to lead things off. Dominic Smaldino and Ricky Rodenberg due up in this inning as well. Lions got a base runner in the top of the first inning, but Carson Bowen threw out Owen Fuller trying to steal second base to end the frame. As this pitch, a first pitch breaking ball on the inner half for Santos for a strike, and the count goes to 0-1. Andrew Lamb, a left-hander. Smaldino and Rodenberg both bat right-handed. Santos doesn't like the first sign. Will take the second. Here comes the 0-1. Another breaking ball that tails outside. No chase there from the junior right fielder. The count goes to 1 ball and 1 strike. Again, Andrew Lamb 1 for 3 last night. He had 1 of the 4 J Serra hits. In fact, this part of the lineup 5, 6, and 7 had 3 of the 4 hits last night against Luis Rodriguez, and actually all of them had those hits in succession. So they had the bases loaded in the bottom of the 5th inning, but failed to bring home a runner as Luis Rodriguez struck out the next 3 he faced. Count is 1-2. Here comes the pitch from Santos. This one popped up foul and out of play. And the count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. Lou Fujiwara actually led off the bottom of the first last night with a base hit, but was erased on a double play. The only other 3 hits came in that 5th inning. Andrew Lamb, Dominic Smaldino, and Rodenberg. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here comes the pitch, and it's this one swung on and missed, lunged at there by Lamb. It was a breaking ball tailing away, and he goes down on strikes for out number 1. First strikeout of the ball game for Santos, and with 1 out, nobody on, that brings up Dominic Smaldino.
First baseman, number 38.
Good mix of pitches there from Santos. Went with the fastball to get that 2-strike fouled off pitch, and then came back with a breaking ball that tailed away. Now he works with the right-handed Smaldino. Here's the first pitch, and that fastball's in there for a strike. Gets 0-1. 6'4", 205 for Dominic Smaldino. He's verbally committed to Cal Berkeley. Bends the knees a bit at the plate, crowds the plate with that even stance. Santos working out of the windup. Here comes the pitch. This one a fastball, popped up to the right-hand side. That'll drift out of play. It's 0-2. Again, for the Lancers, strong pitching so far. Luis Rodriguez last night went 6 innings of work to pick up his second victory. He allowed 4 hits. He struck out 7. Did not walk a batter, but did hit one batter in the third inning. Oliver Santos trying to continue that here. The 0-2 pitch misses low. Good job by Smaldino to recognize that. The count goes to 1-2. Smaldino 1 for 2. He singled and he also walked in the ball game last night. Here comes the 1-2 pitch, and that one hits him. He'll head down to first. Bounced off him, and then the catcher, Carson Bowen, before heading over to the right side of the backstop, and with 1 out, a base runner on at first. It'll be Ricky Rodenberg due up. Tough to lose a batter like that with 2 strikes, but Santos will now have to work out of the stretch.
Number 2, Ricky Rodenberg.
Like Smaldino, Rodenberg also 1 for 2 last night. He was pinch hit for late in the ball game. Right-hander with the hoodie coming out from underneath the jersey, as again another chilly night here tonight. As we started the ball game, it was upper 50s. First pitch, this one fouled straight back. It's 0-1. Should stay about that range for most of the game, if anything, maybe down to the mid-50s, but still chilly conditions for high school baseball in Orange County to start the season. Rodenberg, a right-hander with a even stance at the plate. Wiggles the bat back and forth as he awaits Santos, who looks over at first. Now he'll fire to the plate. Fastball. This one a line drive over to left, and that will fall for a base hit. Ryland lets it fall in front of him, and Smaldino will stop over at second, and the Lions have runners at first and second here with 1 out. That'll bring up Brandon Chang with an RBI opportunity early on.
Center fielder, number 13.
That was a hard-hit baseball there that Rodenberg deposited into straightaway left field, and before the start of this at-bat, Brett Kay wants to bring his offense over to have a chat down the first base line. So again, the Lions, who were shut out last night, looking for their first run in the series here as we're in the top of the second. Runners at first and second with 1 out. And the Lions collect the first base hit of the ballgame as well off the bat of Ricky Rodenberg. Again, these two teams will meet up for the third and final game on Friday, 6 p.m. at J Serra Catholic in San Juan Capistrano. Question is, will it be a rubber match to win the series, or will Orange Lutheran go in with a 2-0 edge? Right now, the Lions trying to take the early lead here in this one. As Chang makes his way to the plate, he was the guy who was toward the top of the order last night, who was dropped down to the number 7 spot here for this evening's ball game. 0 for 3 last night with a strikeout, looking to turn that around. Tough night for him in right field as well, as one of those runs that came around to score late in the ball game was due to an error out in right. He misplayed a line drive by Ben Ryland, scored a run, and Ryland was able to get to third as that ball bounced to the wall. So trying to turn things around here. Good time to do it as well with Smaldino at second. Over at first base is Rodenberg. Santos checks the runner back at second base and fires to the plate. Curveball in there for a strike. It's 0-1. That started just above the letters and came back into the strike zone. Santos in a bit of trouble early on here in the second inning. Wind starts to pick up, moving now from the left field corner to the right field corner. Chang crowds the plate. Even stance, and Santos will look back at second base without a throw as Smaldino was moving around over there. Again, Smaldino was hit by a pitch, and then he moved over to second on the single by Rodenberg. Santos looks back at second base and fires to the plate. Smaldino bluffs. This one bunted but fouled off to the right, and the count goes to 0-2. Got underneath that pitch, popped it up, but just out of the reach of Carson Bowen. Santos has been in a bases loaded jam before with nobody out. Came against Huntington Beach back in the third game of the PBR Invitational. Santos was able to work his way out of it without giving up any runs. Orange Lutheran ended up winning that game 5-0. 0-2 offering. Fastball went right after him. This one fouled off the front leg, it appeared, and it stays near home plate. Count remains no balls and 2 strikes. Waiting on deck here for J Serra, the number 8 batter, J.J. Hollis. As Brandon Chang continues to work here against Oliver Santos with runners at first and second. Again, we're in the top of the second inning, 1 out, no score. Santos will throw back to second, trying to get Smaldino. Mikey Romero getting to the bag, but Smaldino is able to make it back safely. 2 other Trinity League teams in action tonight in non-league play. Santa Margarita taking on La Mirada, and Mater Dei taking on Red Mountain High School. Here comes the 0-2. This one a ground ball to third. Underneath the diving glove of Casey Borba. They will stop Smaldino over at third. The base is now loaded here for J.J. Hollis. That ball just hugged the ground. Borba couldn't find it after lunging for it. Ryland getting the ball back in quickly, and they halt Smaldino over at third. So now it's J.J. Hollis with an opportunity as Chang collects his first hit of the series.
Number 4, J.J. Hollis.
Now the Lancers really want another ground ball here to try to get out of the inning. Second hit of the inning for J Serra. Good approach there by Chang on an 0-2 count. Slightly open stance here for the junior, who shows bunt, pops it up, and this will hit the screen behind home plate. 0-1. Smaldino was on the run. So too was Rodenberg at second base, but we'll try it again. 0-2 with a strikeout was J.J. Hollis. Dylan Martin pinch hit for him in the ballgame last night. Hollis was playing third. He's playing third again here tonight. No balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Bases loaded here for J Serra. Santos kicks and deals. That fastball misses a bit outside. It's 1-1. Middle infielders playing deep for the Lancers, hoping for a ground ball. Casey Borba even with the bag at third. So too is Miranda. In fact, he's a bit in front of the bag and in front of the base runner in Brandon Chang. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the pitch. Check swing. They'll call it a strike, and the count goes to 1-2. Tied him up inside, did Santos. As Hollis falls behind, on deck, Matt Champion. Outfielders playing pretty much straight up. Curiel right behind his pitcher. Hollis bends the knees a bit at the plate. Here comes the 1-2. Inside, not by much. Count goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes. J.J. Hollis, 6'4" junior, committed to UCSB. A lot of juniors in the lineup here for the Lions. Only a couple of seniors, one of them at second base. Here comes the 2-2. This one lined down the left field line, but that will hook foul. And we'll try it again. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Good battle here between Hollis and Santos. Runners get their leads again. J Serra's got the bases loaded. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Santos delivers to Hollis, and this one a ground ball again, foul down the third base line. We'll try it again. 6 pitches here in the at-bat. We'll see a 7th. Santos ready to go. He's back on the hill. Baseball in his left hand. Glove resting against his right hip. Hollis crowds the plate a bit with the back foot here. Front foot just a little bit further off, and he calls for time. Already early momentum here for J Serra. Smaldino hit by a pitch, and then back-to-back singles by Rodenberg and Chang have him loaded. 2 balls, 2 strikes with 1 out. Here comes the pitch from Santos, and this one again fouled off to the left-hand side. Santos trying to tie him up inside, and Hollis able to make contact, and grounded foul just to the left of the third base bag. We'll try it again. The count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. J Serra fired up on the first base dugout. Another good opportunity here for the Lions to get on the board. Hollis ready to go. He once again will step off as Santos resets on the hill. Again for Santos, 2 seasons at Mater Dei. I don't believe he had any varsity action with the Monarchs. This would be his first varsity start in the Trinity League as this fastball is swung on and missed. Hollis goes down. A huge strikeout there for Santos. And that'll be the second out of the inning, and it'll put it on Matt Champion to try to get something going here with the bases loaded in the top of the second inning.
Batting ninth, the pitcher.
So 2 strikeouts for Santos here in the inning. And now Matt Champion needs to find a way to get on base to put the Lions on top. Right-hander also crowds the plate. Here comes the first pitch from Santos. Swung on and missed. Count goes to 0-1. Champion did pinch hit last night. Went 0 for 1. Big time opportunity to help his own cause here as he will head to the hill for the bottom of the second inning against the middle of the Lancers lineup. Front foot a bit closer to the plate than the back foot now shows bunt and gets this one down to the pitcher. Throw over to first, and that's in time, and Santos is able to get out of the inning. So Champion tries the squeeze bunt there, but Santos able to field his position well and ends the inning with a 1-3 putout. The Lions go down no runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 3 left on base. We head to the bottom. In Yorba Linda. Open 7 days a week. It offers 5 lanes, including 2 with pitching mounds and hack attack machines, 3 tee hitting areas, and hit tracks. Appointments can be booked online at kzonebpcages.com. That's kzonebpcages.com, K-Zone Training Center. Book your appointment today. And again, if you're joining us on Mixlr and would prefer to watch this game with the call, you can do so by going to the Coach's Radar. Just search for it on YouTube, the Coach's Radar, and that's coaches plural, not coaches apostrophe S. The Coach's Radar. You can watch tonight's game with the call as well. A free service on YouTube. So again, if you're in a spot where you're able to pull up a live feed and watch the game tonight, definitely invite you to do so. Don't necessarily recommend it if you're driving, but other than that, you should be okay. We head to the bottom of the second inning. Matt Champion back to the hill here for J Serra. He'll face off against Gabe Miranda, Brian Martinez, and Ben Ryland in this inning. Champion had a nice, easy 1-2-3 inning, a couple of fly ball outs and a ground out to first. Orange Lutheran, their line score last night, 9 runs on 7 hits, 1 error, and 9 left on base. Again, a lot of free passes handed out by J Serra. Champion trying to cut down on those here tonight. J Serra last night threw out David Horn, Ben Reimers, and Brody Purcell. Horn for 4 1/3, Reimers an inning and 2/3, and Purcell on for the 7th inning. As the first pitch here from the right-handed champion to Gabe Miranda is a check swing. It's low. They say it did not go around. And the count goes to 1 ball and no strikes. Miranda, another great night for getting on base last night. 1 for 1 with a single, but he also walked 3 times in the ball game as the 1-0 comes in. Here's a line drive, and that's just foul. Nice diving effort there by Small Dino, but just out of his reach. And the count goes to 1-1. Well, David Horn tried to pitch him outside last night for his first 2 plate appearances, but could not quite find the outside edge. Miranda was able to work those into a couple of walks. As the 1-1 offering comes in from Champion, it's upstairs, little arm run on that, and the count goes to 2-1. In fact, Miranda had walks in the 2nd, 4th, and 5th innings before leading off the 7th with the base hit. He would later come around to score. Left-hander with an open stance committed to TCU. Here comes the 2-1. This one popped up sky high, right side. It'll be the second baseman, Owen Fuller, calling off his first baseman to make the catch in the outfield grass down the line. And that'll be the first out of the inning here in the bottom of the 2nd. As Miranda is out on a pop-up, that'll bring up Brian Martinez with 1 out, nobody on. Good communication there from Owen Fuller. He had the better angle there as he called off Small Dino to make that catch. Now Brian Martinez at the plate. Right-hander with an even stance. First pitch, here's a line drive out to right. Will that hang up long enough? That's out of the reach of Andrew Lamb and right, and that one hops the wall. Martinez rounding second. He's going to head to third. It's a 1-out triple as the throw comes in. It gets away from the third baseman, J.J. Hollis. But backing him up there was the shortstop, Fujiwara. Or pardon me, was the left fielder, Rodenberg, I should say. And that keeps Martinez from coming home. Off the bat, that looked like a ball that Lamb might be able to get to, but it carried out there. It had more zip on it than I could tell from back here. Just out of Lamb's reach, and it goes all the way to the 376 sign out there as Martinez hustles his way around for a 1-out triple. Lancers now with a scoring opportunity with Ben Ryland at the plate. Ryland 2 for 3, the only player with a multi-hit game last night. Here comes the first pitch, and that one is inside edge for a strike. Count goes to 0-1. Sophomore versus sophomore here. So Ryland also had a run scored and an RBI to his credit last night. Left-hander even stance at the plate. These two are among the top in the class of 2024, as this one is a one-hopper to second. Staying at third is Martinez. A toss to first is just in time to get Ryland. Great job there by Fuller. Stared down Martinez at third to make sure he wasn't going to go, and then just gets it to Small Dino in time to take care of Ryland for out number 2. Heads up play there for the senior, and
Sawyer Vortman.
showing everybody else how it's done. That's good senior leadership there for Owen Fuller as Sawyer Vortman makes his way to the plate here to try to find a 2-out knock. Bring home that run from third. Champion trying to get out of this inning, get his offense back up. They had some momentum in the second inning. Going to go over the rankings for sophomores from Prep Baseball Report. Champion comes in at number 7 among the 2024 prospects. As this one is bunted down the third base line. It's hugging, and that will stay foul. Martinez was headed home and had crossed the plate, but Vortman will have to head back to the plate here. It's 0-1. Ben Ryland, who he was just facing, number 9 in the class of 2024, according to Prep Baseball Report. And third sophomore, Derek Curiel, who leads off for the Lancers. He comes in at number 2 among the class. So the folks at Prep Baseball Report recognizing the talent and hard work of all 3 of those young men. Derek Curiel, Matt Champion on the mound currently for J Serra. And the guy who just grounded out, Ben Ryland. 0-1 the count here on Sawyer Vortman with Martinez over at third. 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. That fastball is in there on the outside edge for a strike. It's 0-2. Vortman 0 for 3 last night, but did earn a walk and later came around to score. He also had an RBI on a ground out as he bends the knees a little bit lower here with 2 strikes on him, chokes up on the bat. Martinez waiting over at third after that 1-out triple. First hit of the ball game for the Lancers was that. Here comes the 0-2. Fastball outside. No chase there from Vortman. It's 1-2. Again, you had a chance to hear it in the interview. Vortman, kid who just kept moving forward, kept working hard, and ultimately has now earned his spot here in the lineup as the designated hitter. With Ben Ryland playing left, we know Vortman can play left as well. He's done so a couple of times. Here comes the 1-2. Again, that fastball is outside. It looks like Champion might have slipped a bit on the mound after releasing that baseball. And the count evens out, 2 balls and 2 strikes. For the Lions, in the top of the third inning, we go back to the top of the order. Lou Fujiwara will lead things off. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner at third. Here comes the pitch from Champion. This one popped up foul and out of play as the breaking ball was left a bit up. Count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. As Vortman battles here, you'll see a 6th pitch. Vortman came in ranked third on the Lancers with 5 hits. He's got a .455 average through his 5 starts. Even stance at the plate, looking for the 2-2 pitch once again. Here it comes from Champion. Check swing. They say he went around. A tag for good measure. And that will do it for the bottom of the second inning as the Lancers leave a base runner at third. They go down no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. We are through 2 here at Hart Park, and we are still scoreless between Orange Lutheran and J Serra. This is Lancers Baseball on CA Sports Zone and the Coach's Radar.
As we participate in chocolate runs for kids. To do this, the players are tracking.
Top of the third inning we go here at Hart Park. No score between Orange Lutheran and J Serra. Both teams with scoring opportunities in the second inning. Both coming away empty-handed thanks to the pitching performances of Oliver Santos and Matt Champion. For the Lions here in the top of the third, we head back to the top of the order. Lou Fujiwara to lead things off. Owen Fuller and David Horn also due up in the frame as Santos will get back to work here. He's got a couple of strikeouts through 2 frames. Also allowed a couple of base hits, and he's hit and walked a batter. So 4 base runners for J Serra through 2 innings so far tonight. Nothing to show for it just quite yet as Fujiwara will head back in. He's 0 for 1. Fly ball out to center on the first pitch he saw back in the top of the first. Again, he started the bottom of the first in last night's game with a base hit. Here's a line drive down the left field line, just foul. J Serra's had quite a few of those. Just need to straighten it out here. It's 0-1 as Fujiwara heads back to the plate. Andrew Lamb had a couple that were just outside the right field line. Now Fujiwara going down the left field line. Right-handed Lou Fujiwara checks in at 5'10", 165, bends the knees at the plate, really shortens the zone. Here's a chopper over to Borba, picks it up after 1 hop at third base, fires to first, and Gabe Miranda is able to corral it in for out number 1. Fujiwara really liking what he sees out of the hand of Santos. He's swung and made contact with everything so far tonight, and with one out, nobody on, Owen Fuller will be the next man up.
Second baseman, number 8, Owen Fuller.
Fuller walked his first time up, tried to steal second base, looked like he had a shot, but Cummings made a nifty tag on his helmet as he was sliding into second for the final out back in the first inning. First pitch here from Santos, fastball up and away, and the count goes to 1-0. Same thing that we saw in the first plate appearance. Most of Santos' pitches were up against Owen Fuller, who checks in at 5'11", 180. Here comes the pitch, and that fastball's on the inside edge for a strike, and the count is 1-1 strike. Again, Fuller, one of the senior leaders this year for this J Serra squad. Here's the pitch. This one swung on and missed. A fastball up in the zone. Count goes to 1-2. And again, he was batting in the 3 spot, and while Coach Matt Orloff said he's maybe not the typical number 3 hitter for the type of offense that J Serra wants to run this year, he fits the mold, and you want to have as many of those guys up at the top of the order as possible. J Serra not the power hitting group that they were last year. They graduated a heavy and experienced class of seniors last year. Owen Fuller, a senior this year, among a starting lineup that is mostly juniors, as this one is up and in and just nicked him on the shoulder of the helmet there. He'll head down to first and be thankful it wasn't worse than that. That one was right towards his head as he ducked out of the way, but it still nicked him there, and he'll gladly take that base and put himself on for David Horn.
23, David Horn.
Horn so far tonight 0 for 1. He flew out to right center back in the first inning. Second time up with Owen Fuller over at first base. Here comes the first pitch. A breaking ball in there for a called strike. It's 0-1. David Horn, a transfer from Vista Murrieta a couple of seasons ago. So too was Mikey Romero into Orange Lutheran. So a couple of guys who knew each other at one point as teammates, now facing off against one another. Romero currently over at the shortstop position. 0-1 the count. Curveball, check swing. No call, it stayed up, and he held back. It's 1-1 strike. See if Fuller tries to go for second again at any point during this plate appearance for David Horn. Again, he's 6'3". Here comes the 1-1. This one fouled off to the right, 1-2. Biggest name that returned for J Serra from last year's squad that finished runner-up in the CIF Southern Section Division I championship game and then won the inaugural Southern California Regional Tournament over Ayala. Of course, Owen Fuller played a prominent role on that team as well. David Horn was usually in the 5 or 6 spot in that lineup. A lot of big kids who graduated in that class last year. Here comes the pitch, and that one comes in on him. Hits him in the shoulder, and he'll head down to first as he shakes it off and looks over at his dugout to fire him up. Back-to-back Lions hit by pitches here, and that puts runners at first and second for Andrew Lamb. Santos all of a sudden has hit 3 Lions tonight, all of them right-handers, as he's trying to establish that inside edge and just missing a bit too far. Lions, at least the right-handers, have been crowding the plate as well to try to squeeze him a little bit there as the first pitch curveball now slips out of the hand a bit early and goes high to Andrew Lamb. It's 1 ball and no strikes. That'll bring out Eric Borba, who will have a chat here with Santos and his infield as he senses things are starting to get a little shaky with his senior left-hander. No score, but the Lions again with runners at first and second with 1 out here in the top of the 3rd. This is Lancers Baseball on CA Sports Zone and the Coach's Radar. Friends, a sponsor of Orange Lutheran Baseball, Superior Truck Supply is the leading provider of family-owned heavy-duty truck parts in the Los Angeles and Orange counties. Once again, that's Superior Truck Supply, a proud sponsor of Orange Lutheran Baseball. Meeting brief, Borba heading back to the dugout. And Oliver Santos back on the mound here for Orange Lutheran. A 1-0 count here on Andrew Lamb, who ended up striking out after nearly getting a couple of line drives down the right field line. He pushed him just a bit foul. 2 hits for the Lions tonight, 1 hit for the Lancers to this point. Santos looks back at second, fires to the plate, and there's a fastball that's just above the knees on the outside edge, and the count is 1-1. Fuller at second, Horn over at first. Both of them were hit by pitches in this inning. Lou Fujiwara started off the frame with a chopper to third that Casey Borba took care of. Santos looks back at second, fires to the plate. This one outside, 2-1. Smaldino on deck. It's Andrew Lamb looking for a base hit to potentially bring home that runner from second. Santos for a second straight inning trying to avoid trouble here with multiple base runners. 2-1, here comes the pitch, and both runners were starting to go. This one a ground ball to second, over to, a ground ball to short, over to second for 1, but they're unable to complete the double play. And J Serra will have runners on the corners. Chase Cummings got the ball at second and just held on to it as Lamb was hustling down the line. So fielder's choice goes 6-4. And now Smaldino with an opportunity. Orange Lutheran would have loved that double play, but see if J Serra can take advantage of another opportunity here. Fuller at third, and now it's Andrew Lamb over at first, as David Horn was retired at second base for the second out of the inning. Smaldino was hit by a pitch back in the second. Crowds the plate once again. First pitch, a breaking ball in there for a called strike. Again, that one up in the zone, but with the 6'4" frame of Smaldino, it's in right at the letters. Orange Lutheran in the bottom half of this inning will have Bowen, Cummings, and Curiel due up. 8, 9, and 1 in the batting order. No balls, 1 strike. There goes the runner from first. Bluff a throw down to second. Now they've got Fuller in a run down. They will toss back to third, and they got him trying to slide back in. Orange Lutheran in the bottom half of this inning will have Bowen, Cummings, and Curiel due up. 8, 9, and 1 in the batting order. No balls, 1 strike. There goes the runner from first. Bluff a throw down to second. Now they've got Fuller in a run down. They will toss back to third, and they got him trying to slide back in. And we will head to the bottom of the third as the Lions go down. Yard or backyard of your dreams. Trusted by Lancer families to handle their outdoor living needs, Premier Outdoor Builders can handle your next outdoor living project. From custom pools, patio covers, barbecues, fire features, hardscapes, and driveways, they will handle all your design and build needs. Find them on Instagram at Premier Outdoor Builders, and mention this ad when you call to get a free 3D rendering of your next project and have your deposit waived. Once again, find them on Instagram at Premier Outdoor Builders, and mention this ad when you call to get a free 3D rendering of your project and have your deposit waived. So J Serra again twice in this ballgame has had runners at third and have not been able to score. Orange Lutheran in the second had a runner at third with 1 out and was unable to bring him home. Now Carson Bowen will try to lead things off here in the bottom of the third against Matt Champion. 2 innings of work. He's struck out 1. He's allowed 1 base hit, but has not allowed any free passes so far to Orange Lutheran tonight. Carson Bowen even stance at the plate. He had a hit in last night's ball game. First pitch comes in, shows bunt, pulls it back, but eats up a strike anyway. And the count is 0-1. 1 for 3, couple of runs scored for Carson last night. Also had a walk in that game. Fourth-year starter here for the Lancers, wearing the long right sleeve tonight. Is this one a bloop shot into left field? That's going to fall for a base hit. Bowen will stop at first as Rodenberg collects it and brings it back in. But a nice easy swing there for the senior, and he deposits it down the left field line for a base hit, the second of the ball game here for the Lancers, who have their leadoff man on for the first time tonight. In fact, that's the first leadoff man to reach base in the ball game period to this point, as that brings up Chase Cummings with one on and nobody out. In the infield, will come in and have a chat with the sophomore right-hander on the mound, Matt Champion. Again, Champion showed poise after allowing a one-out triple to Brian Martinez in the second inning, but he bounced back and got a ground out from Ben Ryland with help from Fuller, who made a heads-up play. Checking the runner back to third before retiring Ryland at first, and then he struck out Sawyer Vortman to end the threat. So now it's Chase Cummings who will step in. He went hitless last night in 2 at-bats, but he did walk. Had an RBI ground out and scored a run. He shows bunt this time, looking to push Bowen into scoring position. In comes Smaldino from first, and this pitch is outside. Cummings takes the bat back, and Caruso looked to throw it down to first, but Fuller was a bit late in covering the first base bag. So Bowen back in safely, counts 1-0. Cummings about 6'1". And comes into the ball game tonight looking for a hit, batting 182. A couple of hits and 11 tries so far. As the 1-0 pitch comes in, he shows bunt. This one off the end of the bat and fouled off to the right-hand side. Hollis came crashing in from third. Smaldino was holding the runner over at first as the count evens out. 1 ball, 1 strike. Again, the Lancers liked what they saw last night. They have the exact same lineup here tonight. By this time last night, the Lancers had a run in the second inning, but nothing doing so far here against Champion. Cummings shows bunt once again. Champion fires to the plate, and that one is just a bit up and away. The count goes to 2-1. Bowen's a catcher, but he will take off for second. He's got a couple of stolen bases this year. Short lead at first now. It looks like they're really trying to get him into scoring position with a sacrifice here as the pitch comes in, and he pulls it back again. This one a bit low. 3 balls and 1 strike now, the count on Chase Cummings. .273 batter last year, couple of game-winning hits. Just trying to push a runner over as a quick throw over to first base gets Bowen back to the bag safely. 3 balls, 1 strike, nobody out here in the bottom of the third. A runner at first for Orange Lutheran in a scoreless ball game against J Serra. Some tense moments in this one already with runners in scoring position. Orange Lutheran trying to push another one into scoring position here. Here's a 3-1. This one bunted down the first base line, and it's foul. Cummings a bit disappointed as he picks up the bat, recognized it after taking a couple of steps down the line. And now likely called off here as the count goes full 3-2. Bowen back to first. Mostly straight up defensively here. If anything, the outfield might be shifted a bit to the left. Brandon Chang just off a dead center to the left-hand side from our vantage point. And Andrew Lamb in right field playing off the line. No bunt shown here with 2 strikes. It's a full count, 3-2, as Champion will reset with his catcher, Charlie Caruso. This sophomore battery could be good for the next couple of years for J Serra. Champion ready. Here's the 3-2. Fastball chopper down the third base line. That's foul. Not by much, but Hollis unable to get there as it trickles into the corner, and the count remains full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. 7th pitch of the at-bat coming up here. From Champion to the number 9 batter, Chase Cummings. Derek Curiel awaits on deck, and Mikey Romero will be due up 4th in the inning. Carson Bowen led things off with a base hit down the left field line. Champion will throw back to first. And Bowen back in safely. Looked over there and started to come set, but then went right back and fired a fastball over to his first baseman, Dominic Smaldino. Again, a short lead for Bowen over there at the first base bag. 3 balls, 2 strikes as Champion comes set. Here's the pitch. Another fastball in there. Called strike 3 on the outside edge. And a strikeout for the sophomore right-hander as he eliminates Cummings for the first out here in the bottom of the 3rd.
Now batting for your Lancers, center fielder.
So second strikeout for Champion. That'll take us back to the top of the order with Derek Curiel. With 1 on and 1 out, Curiel so far tonight is 0 for 1. He flew out to center to open up the bottom of the 1st inning. And again, we talk about those rankings. Champion number 7 in the class of 2024 in the state of California. Curiel number 2 behind Bryce Rayner of Harvard Westlake. So premier matchup that we will have the luxury of seeing for a couple of more years after this one. This one a bit up and in to start the at-bat. The count is 1 ball and no strikes. We've talked about with Curiel, a little over 300 the batting average. Up there in terms of stolen bases as well. A bit of a slower start here to his sophomore campaign. He's got 4 hits. Looking to turn things around here tonight. 267 the batting average coming in for him in 6 games. Here's the pitch, and that one's inside, 2-0. Carson Bowen still over at first, being held by Smaldino. Middle infielders hoping for a double play here as Brandon Chang in deep center field has motioned back towards pretty much straightaway center here. 2 balls, no strikes. Champion out of the stretch, fires to the plate. This one lifted out towards right center. This one should hang up long enough for Chang to get underneath of it. He will make the catch, and Bowen will stay over at first base as the ball gets away from the shortstop, Fujiwara, but backed up by the pitcher Champion. And Curiel is out number 2.
Number 35, Mikey Romero.
So again, a fairly deep drive out there to right center, but that's one of the deeper parts of the ballpark as well, and Chang able to track it down. Curiel retired, and that'll bring up Mikey Romero. Back-to-back left-handers here to start things off for the Lancers at the top of the order. Romero grounded out to first his first time up. If he's missed a bit on the barrel, that's been his miss. A ground ball to the right side, and this one popped up towards the left side. Left center, as coming in for it is Rodenberg, and he will make the catch for the final out of the inning. So the Lancers get a leadoff base hit from Carson Bowen, but they're unable to move him any further as the next 3 go down 1, 2, 3, and Orange Lutheran comes away empty. Top of the fourth inning we go. Scoreless ball game between Orange Lutheran and J Serra as Oliver Santos takes back to the hill. He'll face off against Dominic Smaldino, Ricky Rodenberg, and Brandon Chang. As J Serra once again tries to put up a run here in the series. They've had two good opportunities in the last two frames with multiple base runners in each and a runner at third in each, but have not been able to scratch any runs across just yet. Smaldino steps in. He was hit by a pitch back in the second, and he was actually at the plate when the final out of the inning was recorded. Owen Fuller a little bit too far off the third base bag. He was thrown out by Carson Bowen on a back pick. Here comes the first pitch, and this one a check swing, but it's in there for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Again, this J Serra team under the head coaching of Brett Kay in his 16th season here with the Lions, and again back in the dugout tonight after having to miss the last two games. This pitch is inside, but lifted out towards left field, and that is in foul territory. It'll stay in the yard, but out of the reach of Ben Ryland. It's 0-2. As we mentioned last night, Kay has led this program to 5 Trinity League championships. They've made the semifinals of the CIF Southern Section Division I playoffs 3 times. They've made 1 championship appearance. It was last season. Other 2 semifinal appearances came in 2014 and 2016. 0-2 pitch upstairs, check swing by Smaldino, but he did not go around, and the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Took over this program in 2007. J Serra's first league championship in 2009. As the 1-2 pitch comes in, again upstairs from Santos to Smaldino. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. It's nice being down at the ballpark there yesterday, seeing some of those banners that they've put up on the walkway heading into the stadium. Guys like Brett Dawson and Clay Williamson, their college uniforms. Here comes the pitch, and this fastball's popped up, fouling out of play. Straight back, it's 2-2. That was the first time that I had a chance to kind of get a taste of what J Serra baseball was all about. They played Edison in a doubleheader, and my partner at the time, Andrew Palovic, and I called that doubleheader at Cal State Fullerton, which is Brett Kay's alma mater. So this curveball stays upstairs, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Had burgundy and gold uniforms instead of the black and burgundy they have here tonight. Here's the 3-2. This one popped up to the right-hand side, playable in fair territory. Coming in for it is Brian Martinez, and he will make the catch for out number 1. So decent battle there between Santos and Smaldino. Santos wins the battle with help from his right fielder, and with one out, nobody on. It'll be Ricky Rodenberg due up next. Again, going back to Coach K, 2009, the first Trinity League championship for the Lions, as this first pitch comes in and is a bit low and inside. 1 ball and no strikes, was a breaking ball there. He then won 3 straight from 2014 to 2016. Only 3-peat in Trinity League history. This fastball is popped up and will drift out of play. Not by much, but it'll get out. Watch out in the stands there. Down the third base line, and the count goes to 1 ball and 1 strike. 2014, they made it to the semifinals, where they ended up losing to Foothill. That year, another Trinity League team ended up taking the championship. Santa Margarita finished 3rd in league that year and came out of nowhere to take the title over Foothill with Griffin Canning as the starting pitcher at Angels Stadium. Of course, now he plays for the Angels as this 1-1 pitch is fouled off by Rodenberg. It goes to 1-2. 2016 at Blair Field, J Serra fell in the semifinals to Harvard Westlake. The Wolverines would then go on to fall to a surprise Murrieta Mesa team as this curveball's in there for a called strike. Check swing, but it didn't matter. He was rung up anyway. And Rodenberg goes down for out number 2 here in the top of the 4th. Just the 3rd strikeout of the night here for Oliver Santos. And with 2 outs and nobody on, Brandon Chang will be due up next. And of course, last year that magical run for J Serra, where they made it to the championship game, where they faced off against Harvard Westlake once again at Cal State Fullerton. This one popped up and out of play. And unfortunately for the Lions, once again Harvard Westlake coming out on top in that one. J Serra would continue the season in the regional championships, and they would win 3 in a row and take the first ever title for that playoff. So they can always have that to their credit, the inaugural Southern Regional champions in Division I. Chang behind 0-2. He's fouled off the first 2 he's seen from Santos here. We've got 2 outs in the top of the 4th inning here at Hart Park in a scoreless ball game. Here comes the pitch, up and in, and the count goes to 1-2. A lot of players have come out of this program as well to do great things in college, a couple of them in the major leagues as well. Minor league systems too, most notably. Chase Strumpf with the Cubs. Royce Lewis was a #1 pick out of high school back in 2017. He's with the Twins as this pitch is grounded sharply to Borba. Bounces off him, he sticks with it, throws over to first, and he gets it just in time. As the Lions go down 1-2-3 here in the top of the 4th. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. We're halfway through this one and still no score. Orange Lutheran and J Serra continuing to battle here in Orange. We'll head to the bottom of the 4th in just a moment. This is Lancers Baseball on CA Sports Zone and the Coach's Radar. Baseball fans, have you imagined expanding your indoor-outdoor entertaining area to be that perfect place for pre- and post-game get-togethers? Then let B&W Windows and Doors assist you with all of your window and door replacement needs. They serve all of Orange County and surrounding areas while offering a premium custom product in a variety of colors and operations. Consultation is free and no obligation. Call them today at 714-941-9796 or visit their website, bwllco.com. That's B&W Windows and Doors. Bottom of the 4th inning we go. Matt Champion back on the hill here for J Serra as he will face off against the heart of the order here for Orange Lutheran. Casey Borba to lead things off. Gabe Miranda and Brian Martinez due up as well. If anybody gets on base, it'll be Ben Ryland. Scoreless ball game here, and this part of the order was 1 for 3 the first time through, with Brian Martinez collecting a 1-out triple back in the 2nd inning. That was the best opportunity for the Lancers to score a run so far tonight. See if they can recreate that magic here in the 4th, as Matt Champion has more or less cruised in this one. No free passes, and he's only allowed 2 base hits tonight. Again, Champion pitching in another big time scenario, the sophomore, as this one is fouled straight back by Borba. Not sure if the camera was on the screen at that point, but if so, hopefully you didn't get dizzy after that. As the count goes to no balls and 1 strike. Borba flew out to right field his first time up to end the bottom of the 1st inning. The junior is 0 for 1, and he came in batting .188 with 3 hits and a double to his credit. Right-hander looking to get himself on base, as this one is a breaking ball that slips and goes over the head of the junior. The count goes to 1 ball and 1 strike. Big-time RBI guy last year as a sophomore. As we mentioned, he was put in some pressure cooker moments as he was a mainstay in the cleanup role last year for the Lancers. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here comes the pitch. This one a chopper down the 3rd base line. Waiting for it is Hollis. Nearly got away from him, and Borba will easily make it down the 1st base line. Tough play there for the 3rd baseman. You can hardly fault him for that, as he had to wait for it to come down and then throw it across the diamond, as Borba was in quite a bit ahead of the throw.
Now batting for your Lancers, first baseman, number
So Borba, the benefactor of good placement there, and again, a good angle on that high chopper. He's down at first, and Gabe Miranda will head up with one on and nobody out. That ball took a weird hop, too. Hollis was in front of it, and then next thing you know, he had to extend that glove on the left hand across his body to make sure it didn't get past him. Just did not really have a chance from the start there. So that'll go as the Lancers' third hit of the ball game. Now out of the stretch here is Champion. First pitch on Miranda is low. Blocked there by Caruso as it hits the dirt. The count goes to 1 ball and no strikes. Miranda got underneath of one and hit a sky-high pop-up down the first base line that was eventually caught by Owen Fuller coming in from second base. The left-hander came into tonight's action with a .412 batting average through 6 games, 7 hits in 16 at-bats. As that pitch hits the outside edge for a strike, it's 1-1. Again, you'd have to think that for J Serra, the strategy against Miranda is to pitch him outside, try to make him go the opposite way. He's had a double, a triple, and a homer here at Hart Park this season. All of it down the right side. Here comes the pitch, and this one also down the right side, but well foul. And the count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Miranda got a good piece of that pitch, but was out in front of it. And he will take a 2-strike approach here with the runner at first. Martinez on deck, and as we mentioned, Ryland would be due up if anybody, or pardon me, if Borba stays on base. Of course, we talked about Brett Kay. We'll talk about Eric Borba as well in his 14th season at the helm here with Orange Lutheran. These two, the longest tenured coaches in the Trinity League, and you can tell by the dominance in the league for these two the last 7 years. 6 of the last 7 years, one of these two teams has been crowned the league champion. Both coaches with, or pardon me, both programs with 5 Trinity League championships. And like Brett Kay, Eric Borba has taken his team to the semifinals on a couple of occasions as this throw goes over to first and Borba back in safely. Borba's first trip to the semifinals in Division I with the Lancers was in 2018. Orange Lutheran fell to Capistrano Valley here at Hart Park. That was the last season under longtime head coach Bob Zamora for the Capistrano Valley Cougars, and of course playing inspired baseball. They went on to defeat Foothill in the championship by a final of 2-1. Poor Foothill. They've been the runner-up in 2 of these stories so far tonight. And of course, last year for the Lancers, they too fell to Harvard Westlake in the semifinals on the road by a final of 3-2. This pitch is low to Miranda. The count evens out. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. We're still scoreless here in the bottom of the 4th. Runner at first base for Orange Lutheran with nobody out. Matt Champion has not made it easy here for the Lancers tonight. They do have 3 hits, but other than that, no other base runners. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Champion will throw over to first, and Borba's back in standing up. All of his years here at Orange Lutheran, Eric Borba's teams have never missed the playoffs. And again, a good chance to make the playoffs and a contender for a league championship here in 2022. A lineup deep with experience. And a pitching staff that's the deepest, he says, that he's ever had in his now 14th year at Orange Lutheran. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. This one blooped over towards the left side. Coming in for it and sprinting is Rodenberg. He tries the slide but comes up empty. And it trickles into left field, deeper into left field as Borba will stop at second base. He thought that that one would be caught. Rodenberg a bit slow to get up there. I'm not sure if that was an intentional slide or if he might have slipped trying to come in for that baseball, but either way, Miranda's on at first, Borba at second, still nobody out, and Brian Martinez will be due up next as J Serra wants to talk it out here on the mound. So a break there for Orange Lutheran. Of course, there likely was a shift on in the outfield with Miranda at the plate. It was a long run for Rodenberg, but again, hard to tell if that was an intentional slide to try to make the catch or if he slipped out there. Either way, Orange Lutheran will take it with runners at first and second as Brett Kay tries to calm down the troops on the mound here. Or pardon me, that's the pitching coach, Blake Hawksworth, who will try to calm down the troops here and get J Serra back on track. First time tonight the Lancers have had multiple base runners in an inning. Borba at second and Miranda over at first, and now Martinez will have an opportunity here. He is 1 for 1. He tripled back in the second inning. By the way, for all the success that both of these coaches have had, the only time they've ever met in the playoffs was last year in the semifinals for the Southern Regional Championships. They've never met in the CIF Southern Section Division I playoffs. More often than not, they've been on the opposite end of the bracket, meaning the only time that they would have met would be in a championship game. Martinez shows bunt. Champion will look back to second. No action. 4 hits for Orange Lutheran, 2 of them in this inning. Second time this year that Miranda's had more of a pop-up into the shallow outfield that has found a way to fall for a base hit. Same thing happened in the opener against Gar, and he ended up coming around to score. That would have been the eventual go-ahead run in the bottom of the 6th inning as Orange Lutheran went on to win that one 2-1. Owen Fuller comes in to give Matt Champion a few words of encouragement here before he gets back on the hill. Brian Martinez still awaiting the first pitch in this at-bat. Caruso up out of his stance briefly. Now he's ready to go again. Borba getting a lead at second. Miranda not being held at first. Smaldino playing in at first base. Hollis doing the same over at third. Big gap on the left side of the infield here. Martinez showing bunt. Here comes the pitch, and this one is low. The count goes to 1 ball and no strikes. Martinez, 5'11", Long Beach State commit. Coming in from Paloma Valley last year. Sat out the 30 days, made his debut against La Mirada at Amaridge Park as this one misses a bit low and outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Even stance here for Martinez. Again, his triple went to right center. It was just out of the reach of the right fielder, Andrew Lamb. 2 balls, no strikes. Here's the offering. This one lifted into center deep. Going back for it is Brandon Cheng. You'll have room and make the catch. Both runners are tagging, and they will advance as Miranda sneaks into second base. The throw went to the shortstop, Lou Fujiwara. And both runners put themselves into scoring position here for Ben Ryland, as the Lancers have him at second and third with 1 out.
Stepping to the plate for your Lancers, left fielder, number 11, Ben Ryland.
So Ryland, who nearly came up with an RBI back in the second inning, but grounded out, he's 0 for 1. He hit a 1-hopper over to Fuller at second base. Fuller wisely checked the runner at third before tossing it over to first. The infield is fairly in now here for J Serra, not all the way in. So now Fujiwara backs up at the shortstop position. Here comes the first pitch. This one popped up, and this one might be playable here for Hollis. It is, and he will make the catch. That's a big out there for J Serra. As Hollis makes the play, and now with 2 outs, it'll be up to Sawyer Vortman to try to bring home a run.
Now batting for your Lancers, designated hitter, number 3, Sawyer Vortman.
Ryland heading back to the dugout, a little disappointed there. Liked the first pitch, just got underneath of it. Now Vortman, who struck out his first time up in the second inning, has another opportunity here with a runner at third. Gabe Miranda at second as well, 2 in scoring position. Champion out of the stretch. Here comes the first pitch, and this one popped up as well. J Serra looks like they'll get out of the inning as Fuller camps underneath it and will make the catch on the infield dirt for the final out. And the Lancers, despite having runners at second and third with 1 out, are unable to come away with any runs in the inning, as we will head to the 5th inning, still scoreless between Orange Lutheran and J Serra. The Lancers go down, no runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 left in scoring position. We'll be right back with more. Top of the 5th coming up. This is Lancers Baseball on CA Sports Zone and the Coach's Radar.
In a variety of colors and operations. Consultation is free.
Top of the 5th inning we go here at Hart Park, and we're still waiting to see which team will break through first. Both Orange Lutheran and J Serra have had opportunities in this one with runners in scoring position, but the pitchers have been able to get out of it. Matt Champion, with runners at second and third, was able to induce 2 pop-ups of Ben Ryland and Sawyer Vortman to get out of his second threat of the ball game. And now it's back on Oliver Santos here to try to keep this scoreless as he faces off with the bottom of the J Serra lineup. It'll be J.J. Hollis, Matt Champion, and Lou Fujiwara due up here in this frame. So this part of the order is 0 for 4 so far tonight. And the first pitch swung on and missed by Hollis. The count goes to 0-1. Hollis 0 for 1. He struck out back in the 2nd inning. 1 of 3 strikeouts for Santos so far tonight. 0-1 offering comes in. Here's a line drive down the left field line. That's going to be fair, and Hollis will stay at first as Ryland's able to bring it back in quickly. And Ryland is still seated out there, but now he's getting up. That's a good sign. As Hollis leads off with a base hit, that'll bring up Matt Champion.
Pitcher, number 1, Matthew Champion.
Champion 0 for 1. He grounded out to, tried to bunt his way aboard with the bases loaded and 2 outs back in the top of the 2nd inning, but Oliver Santos was able to field it. Santos, the left-hander, kicks and deals, showing bunt and foul tipping into the mitt is Champion, and the count is 0-1. Champion pinch hit last night, 0 for 1, looking for his first hit of the series. Crowds the plate, steps up in the box. The toes into the whites, the inside white line of the batter's box as he shows bunt. Here's the pitch. This one's down the first base line. Santos picks it up. He will tag Champion himself. And getting into second base standing up is J.J. Hollis. So the sacrifice works. The Lions have another runner in scoring position. And that'll take us back to the top of the order with Lou Fujiwara. Fujiwara 0 for 2. Fly ball out to center and a ground ball out to third. He's seen 3 pitches so far tonight. He's made contact with all 3 of them. Santos gets a couple of words from his catcher, Carson Bowen, before the start of this at-bat. 3 hits for the Lions, 4 for the Lancers so far tonight, and Orange Lutheran starting up a pitcher in the bullpen, a right-hander. This start has been perhaps the toughest for Santos so far this season. He's had to get out of a couple of jams tonight. As he looks back at second and fires the first pitch to Fujiwara. Breaking ball in the dirt, blocked by Bowen. The count is 1-0. It has not been easy for him this evening. He has hit 3 batters tonight. And he's also walked a pair. Pardon me, he's walked 1. He's had the bases loaded against him back in the second inning, and he's had 2 runners on in the third. As this one is fouled off, the count goes to 1-1. Now he's got another runner in scoring position here with 1 out in the top of the 5th. Fujiwara bends the knees at the plate. Slightly open stance, that front heel off the turf as he leans in with the upper body. Here's a line drive right to Borba, who makes the catch, and back to second base goes J.J. Hollis. That's out number 2. And now Owen Fuller will try to get a base hit to bring home the game's first run. That's the second time in this series that a Lion has lined out right to the third baseman here for the Lancers. Last night it was Brandon Chang who had the unfortunate fate of lining right to Casey Borba. Tonight it goes to Lou Fujiwara. And before we get to the next batter, Eric Borba will make his way to the mound to have a chat here with Santos and the infield. Second meeting for Borba so far here tonight with his pitcher. And while we have a moment, we will remind you that Bellflower Collision, where quality is no accident, is an authorized repair shop for Norm Reeves Honda, the #1 Honda dealer in the world. Visit them at bellflowercollision.com. Again, that's Bellflower Collision. Visit them at bellflowercollision.com. Again, we are still scoreless here in the top of the 5th with 2 outs. J Serra with a runner at second base. Owen Fuller, who has reached base twice so far tonight, will make his way to the plate next. A walk and a hit by pitch. He's been tagged out on the base, or pardon me, he's been out on the base paths twice so far tonight. In the first inning, he tried to steal second, was thrown out by Carson Bowen. And in the third, while he was on at third base, J Serra put Andrew Lamb in motion from first to second. Carson Bowen bluffed a throw down to second base, held on to it, and got Owen Fuller a bit too far off the bag. Bowen then threw Fuller out at third to end that top of the third. So now another opportunity here for Fuller as this one bounces to the right of Carson Bowen, but he's able to collect it before Hollis can move up to third. The count is 1 ball and no strikes. That was a curveball in the dirt. Again, Fuller has not had an official at-bat tonight with the walk and the hit by pitch. Right-hander even stance, holds the bat handle directly behind the helmet, watches another curveball that misses low and inside. 2 balls and no strikes. You would think that Santos would want to go after him here, although Fuller did have a very hot start to his senior campaign. 8 hits in his first 15 at-bats. David Horn is on deck. Here's the pitch. Fastball. That misses low and outside. 3-0. That said, a walk is not the worst thing in the world. If anything, you put a runner on at first and make a force out at any base. 3-0 count. Here's the pitch. Fastball misses low. Fuller is on for the 3rd time tonight as he heads down to first, and now it's on David Horn to try to bring home the runner from second base and provide the game's first run. And now Eric Borba once again will head out to the mound, and this might do it here for Oliver Santos, who has gone 4 2/3 innings of work so far tonight, has allowed no runs on 3 hits. And Eric Borba will take the baseball here from his 6'3" left-handed senior. So Santos will exit with runners at first and second. It's a scoreless ball game, and it looks like they're going to bring in Evan Miranda to try to get out of this inning. As he warms up, we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back with more. This is the top of the fifth inning here at Hart Park. J Serra with runners at first and second with 2 outs in a scoreless ball game here in the Trinity League. This is Lancers Baseball. We'll be right back with more here on CA Sports Zone and the Coach's Radar. Evan Miranda takes to the hill here for Orange Lutheran as he tries to get the Lancers out of this slight jam here in the top of the fifth with runners at first and second and 2 outs. He will face off against David Horn in just a moment here as J Serra with an opportunity once again to try to put a run up on the board. David Horn so far tonight is 0 for 1. Flew out to center his first time up, was hit by a pitch his last time up against Oliver Santos, and again Santos exits the game at this point. 4 2/3 innings of work. He allowed no runs on 3 hits. He struck out 4. Pardon me, he struck out 3. He walked 1 and he hit 3 batters. But the runners on base would be charged to him if they come around to score. So David Horn steps in as Evan Miranda gets set to go, making his 3rd appearance out of the bullpen for the Lancers this season, his first since coming in to pitch against Ayala in game number 2 of the season. As this one a ground ball chopped foul down the third base line. The count is 0-1. Miranda in the first game of the year against Gar High School had a brilliant outing. Went 2 1/3 innings of scoreless baseball. Ended up taking the win in that game in relief as Orange Lutheran came from behind to win 2-1. But then when they brought him back in a couple of days later against Ayala, he struggled to get through 1 1/3 innings of work. He ended up giving up 2 runs, one of them earned on 1 hit. He's given up 3 walks. He's also struck out 8 in 3 2/3 innings of work. And he has a 3.81 ERA. This one checked and fouled off. And David Horn is behind 0-2. Miranda, a junior, came to Orange Lutheran by way of Rancho Cucamonga High School, where he was a closer his freshman season. Has taken on that same role here at Orange Lutheran. He did have 1 start to his credit last year against Servite. Here comes the 0-2. That fastball misses outside. It's 1-2. Power pitcher, has good zip on the fastball. Will mix in a breaking ball and a changeup as well. Against Gar, he really overpowered those hitters toward the end of the ball game. And again, just struggled a bit with his command when he came in against Ayala in game number 2 of that PBR Invitational. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Check swing, a check down to first, and he went around, says the first base umpire, as Miranda comes in and gets David Horn on 4 pitches, and the Lancers are out of the inning unscathed. No runs on 1 hit. No errors and 2 left on base. We are through 4 1/2 here at Hart Park, and still scoreless between Orange Lutheran and J Serra. We head to the bottom of the 5th next. You're listening to Lancers Baseball on CA Sports Zone and watching it on the Coach's Radar. Established in 2002, veteran-owned and operated Innovative Career Resources and Staffing is one of Orange County's premier recruiting and staffing firms and a sponsor of OLU Baseball. If you're looking for great people for your company or looking to make a career move, contact Innovative Career Resources and Staffing at 714-508-8620. And friends, keep competing with McDavid, a proud sponsor of OLU Baseball. McDavid specializes in sports medicine, protective gear, and recovery items. Are you in need of ankle braces, knee supports, compression, and more? Then visit McDavidUSA.com and use promotion code OLU15 and receive 15% off your purchase. Once again, visit McDavidUSA.com and use promotion code OLU15 and receive 15% off your purchase. Bottom of the 5th inning, scoreless ball game as we've mentioned, as Matt Champion once again takes to the hill here for the Lions. He'll take on Carson Bowen, Chase Cummings, and Derek Curiel, 8, 9, and 1 in the Lancer order here in this frame. This part of the order is 1 for 4 so far tonight, with Carson Bowen leading off the 3rd inning with a base hit down the left field line. For Bowen, his 5th hit of the season. He is 1 for 1 so far tonight. It's really been a game of missed opportunities for both sides so far. J Serra's had 3 good scoring opportunities. Orange Lutheran has had a pair. As that first pitch misses outside, a breaking ball from Champion. The count is 1 ball and no strikes. J Serra's had multiple base runners in 3 of the 5 innings so far tonight. As the 1-0 pitch comes in, breaking ball, that one misses low. 2 balls and no strikes. Orange Lutheran on the other side has only had multiple base runners once. That was in the 4th inning. But they've gotten 2 base runners to 3rd base, a triple by Brian Martinez, and then Casey Borba got to 3rd in the 4th on a fly ball out to deep center. Here comes the pitch, and that one is inside, just misses hitting Bowen. And Champion is behind 3 balls and no strikes. J Serra's had the bases loaded with 1 out tonight. That was back in the 2nd inning. Orange Lutheran again back in that 4th inning, had runners at 2nd and 3rd with 1 out before Champion induced a couple of pop-ups to get out of the frame. Here's the 3-0. That one's down the middle, in there for a strike, 3-1. Another good matchup between these two teams. Always exciting. We knew that 9-0 score last night was kind of an outlier. There's never really too many blowouts between these two, as that pitch is in there, and all of a sudden Champion has brought it to a full count, 3-2 here on Carson Bowen. And again, last year, keep in mind, Orange Lutheran won the opener of the 3-game set, but J Serra came back to take the 2nd and 3rd games with Gage Jump and Eric Silva, so you can never count them out. 3-2, popped up, foul and out of play. Straight back behind the backstop, count remains full, 3-2. .5'11" catcher stands back in, stands straight up in the box, holds that bat head behind the helmet here as the pitch comes in. This one lifted deep out to left center field. Brandon Chang chasing it down. He waves off his left fielder Rodenberg and will make the catch for the first out of the inning. Good contact by Bowen, maybe a bit off the end of the bat, but Chang able to track it down, and that'll be the first out of the inning.
Now batting for your Lancers, second baseman, number 5.
So 1 out, nobody on. Chase Cummings will make his way to the plate. Good bounce back there for Champion after falling behind 3-0. He brings it back full and gets a fly out to left center field, though he did have to throw 7 pitches in that at bat. And now Chase Cummings will try to get on base here for Orange Lutheran. He's 0 for 1. Struck out looking his first time up back in the 3rd. He will call for time. Says he has something in his eye there as he pokes at it. And we'll step back in. Champion moving quick. Here comes the first pitch, and this one grounded foul to the left-hand side. Count goes to 0-1. Looked like a fastball a bit low in the zone. And Champion showing that determination. He has fallen behind a couple of times tonight, but he has not given in. Again, he has not allowed any free passes to this point. Orange Lutheran has 4 hits, but nothing else tonight. Here comes the pitch from the sophomore. Curveball in there for a called strike. It's 0-2. Defense straight up here for Cummings. Some pretty large gaps in the power alleys and some room down the right field line. If Cummings decides to go the other way with a pitch towards the outer half of the plate, see if Champion gives him one. No balls, 2 strikes. And a check swing. He did not go around on a curveball in the dirt. It's 1-2. Cummings last year displayed a knack for getting on base in a multitude of ways. There were a couple of times in which he took advantage of a third baseman playing back and would bunt his way aboard. With 2 strikes on him, we won't see that here. He had an opportunity to try to sacrifice and was unable to do so. Here's a chopper down the third base line. Hollis right there. He will fire across the diamond and will take care of Cummings for out number 2 here in the bottom of the 5th. Hollis was playing on the line, and that ball pretty much went right to him. Easy backhand and a throw across the diamond to take care of Cummings. And with 2 outs, nobody on, Derek Curiel will make his way to the plate. 0 for 2 tonight with a couple of fly ball outs to center field. The sophomore Derek Curiel trying to add his name onto that hit column here tonight. Both times the left-hander has gone to straightaway dead center the first time and then to right center his second time up. Shows bunt, pops this one up. It bounces once, Champion picks it up, throws to first, and it's not in time. Curiel beats it out. And the Lancers will keep the inning going here with Mikey Romero. Well, if the full swing isn't working out, why not try and bunt your way aboard? Not the most conventional way with the ball popped up in the air, but it did slow things down a bit perhaps as Champion had to wait for it to bounce. And Curiel hustling down the line beats a throw over to there from Champion. See if Romero can take advantage, but before that, Brett Kay will head out and have a chat here with his sophomore pitcher. And they'll bring the infield in as well. We've got 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th inning. A scoreless ball game. Lancers with a runner at first, and Mikey Romero coming up in just a moment. Friends Brake and Tire Depot is a Lancer family-owned small business serving Orange County for 31 years and proud sponsors of Orange Lutheran Baseball. Visit them at 1205 East 1st Street in Santa Ana for a special Lancer discount. Once again, that's Brake and Tire Depot. Visit them at 1205 East 1st Street in Santa Ana for a special Lancer discount. Quick meeting there with the head coach and his infield, and we will get back to the action here. The lights on the softball fields have just been turned off, so that's now creating a darker backdrop beyond the outfield fence for us here at Hart Park. Mikey Romero so far tonight, 0 for 2. He grounded out to first and flied out to left field. Last at bat in the 3rd inning. See if they move Curiel at all over there at first. He's kind of wiggling around over there. Champion out of the stretch. Will fire to the plate. That fastball in the dirt, blocked well by Caruso, and Curiel not going anywhere. 1 ball, no strikes. Casey Borba on deck in case Mikey Romero keeps the inning alive here for Orange Lutheran. If not, Andrew Lamb will lead off in the top of the 6th inning for J Serra. Again, we talked about one of the issues last night for J Serra pitching was those walks, those free passes, 11 of them in total. Nothing tonight for Champion. He's got 2 strikeouts, but he's forced the Lancers to put the ball in play here tonight. His defense has done the work. 1 ball, no strikes as he looks over the shoulder at first and fires to the plate. Fastball lifted into deep center field. Brandon Chang will go back for it, and he will have room and make the catch out there. Romero got a good piece of it, but just hit it to the deepest part of the park, and Brandon Chang able to track it down as the Lancers go down without much of a fight there. No runs on one hit, no errors, and one left on base. Derek Curiel's bunt single, all that the Lancers get going in that inning. We head to the top of the 6th inning, still scoreless between Orange Lutheran and J Serra. This is game number 2 of their 3-game set. And we'll be right back with the top of the 6th in just a moment. This is Lancers Baseball on CA Sports Zone and the Coach's Radar.
Fielder, number 17, Andrew Lamb.
Andrew Lamb to lead us off here in the top of the 6th inning as we roll on scoreless at Hart Park as J Serra looks to crack it here in the top of the 6th. Lamb, Smaldino, and Rodenberg due up against Evan Miranda, who came on in relief with 2 outs in the top of the 5th inning and promptly struck out David Horn to end the threat with runners at first and second. Lamb so far tonight is 0 for 2, a strikeout and a fielder's choice. Watches a first pitch off the plate. He's ahead 1 ball, no strikes. The left-hander, no batting gloves here tonight. Watches a fastball that misses a bit outside. And he's now got a 2 balls, no strike count. This part of the order for J Serra is 1 for 5 so far. Smaldino has reached on a hit by pitch. Rodenberg has the lone hit of these 3. Here comes the 2-0 offering. That fastball in there for a strike. Lamb showed bunt, pulled it back. It was just below the letters as Miranda tries to get back into it. Again, Miranda 3.81 the ERA. He's got a 2-0 record, both of those wins coming out of relief against Gar and Ayala in the first 2 games of the year. He has not pitched since then, at least not in a game anyway. Here comes the 2-1. This one fouled off, and the count evens out 2 balls and 2 strikes. Miranda currently uncommitted in his junior season. Again, there still are some scouts here who are taking in his action on the mound tonight. J Serra with 3 hits through 5 innings to this point. Orange Lutheran with 5 hits. J Serra's had quite a few more base runners on hit batters and a walk or 2 tonight, as this one just misses the outside edge. The fastball brings it to 3-2. Lamb has 1 hit in the series. He's 1 for 5 so far combined in these first 2 games. So again, that J Serra dugout getting lively here as that breaking ball misses low and inside. Leadoff walk here for Andrew Lamb, who's on for the 2nd time tonight. And with 1 on and nobody out, Dominic Smaldino will be the next man up. Take that back. We'll have a pinch hitter here for Smaldino. It'll be Dylan Martin who will come in and hit for him, as Brett Kay decides to play the matchups here, a left-handed batter against a right-handed pitcher. Martin had a pinch hit appearance in last night's game, ended up striking out against Luis Rodriguez, so he's 0 for 1 in the series. Martin in his junior season, he's a left-hander, even stance at the plate. Miranda will work out of the stretch as he fires to the plate. This one bunted down the 3rd base line. Borba's only play to first. It's a running throw, and a good one at that, as Martin gets the job done, moves the runner into scoring position, and the Lancers collect an out on the sacrifice. So Martin brought in to lay down a bunt. He does just that, and the Lions once again with a runner at second base. And another pinch hitter coming in here for Ricky Rodenberg. Looks like it's going to be Jake Bourne who will get his first plate appearance of the series. Rodenberg to this point was 1 for 2 with a single back in the second inning. He was stranded at second base. That was when the Lions had the bases loaded with 1 out, but Santos came back with a strikeout of Hollis and a put out of Matt Champion, who tried the squeeze bunt unsuccessfully. So we'll see what Jake Bourne can do. He was the defensive specialist in last night's game, playing center field, but he wasn't in the lineup. Slightly closed stance for him as the pitch comes in. This fastball misses up and away. It's 1-0. Jake Bourne, 6 foot even, 160 pounds in his junior season. Again, a lot of juniors for Brett Kay this season at J Serra. 1 ball, no strikes as Miranda looks back at second, fires to the plate. This one fouled off straight back. A fastball there. It's 1-1. Just the next wave of talent for J Serra. Of course, a couple of seniors in the lineup tonight as well who are providing sparks for the Lions. One of them being Owen Fuller, who has again reached base 3 times tonight. And Ricky Rodenberg, as we mentioned, had a single earlier in the ball game. 1 ball, 1 strike. Miranda looks back at second base. He will fire to the plate. Breaking ball. And that one's in there at the letters for a strike. It's 1-2. And J Serra throwing champion tonight, so they'll save Tyler Goff, a highly regarded senior, for Friday's game at home. Orange Lutheran still mulling over who they'll throw in Game 3. This one a line drive to the right. That's going to fall for a base hit. Martinez collects it. They'll stop the runner at third. And Jake Bourne comes through, puts runners on the corners here with 1 out for Brandon Chang. Chase Cummings went back, tried to make it look like he may have had a chance at it. And that may have held up Andrew Lamb for a bit at second base. And once he got going, they weren't going to test it. Martinez got to the ball quickly. But once again, J Serra with a scoring opportunity here in the top of the 6th inning. So they've got runners on the corners now, and Brandon Chang due up next. J Serra has brought in the offense here. And Borba is standing over at the third base line. And now he will head out and have a chat here with the infield. I think he was trying to say that this was J Serra's timeout. It shouldn't count against him. Either way, both coaches will talk things out here. Another big moment here. J Serra with runners on the corners and 1 out. As Jake Bourne collects the Lions' 4th hit of the ball game here. And Orange Lutheran will try to get out of another jam here tonight. Well, baseball fans, are you looking for a reliable, cost-effective commercial cleaning company in Orange County? Then contact Jet Clean Janitorial at jetcleaninc.com to handle all your commercial cleaning needs. Jet Clean, the finest and the fastest, guaranteed. So Evan Miranda back to work here with Andrew Lamb at third and Jake Bourne over at first. Orange Lutheran would love a ground ball for a possible double play. Brandon Chang so far tonight is 1 for 2. He singled back in the second inning. He grounded out to third to end the 4th. Again, Chang was in the number 2 spot in the order last night, moved down to number 7 here. As he steps in for his first plate appearance against Evan Miranda, who checks the runners first before he comes set. Here comes the first pitch, and it's a pitch out upstairs. They look down to third, and Andrew Lamp scampers and slides back into the bag. Looked like a design pitch out there for the Lancers, and the count goes to 1 ball and no strikes. Defense playing straight up. Derek Curiel in a bit in center field. One ball, no strikes as Chang gets ready. Here comes the pitch, shows bunt, pulls it back, and that one's in there for a called strike. It's 1-1. 5'10", 185-pound Brandon Chang playing center field tonight. Played right field last night. He's also listed as a catcher on the roster. Another one of those guys who returns with some experience here for J Serra. Some good experience at that for the Lions. He's turned himself into a bit of a leader in his own right. Here's the 1-1. Shows bunt again, but bunts it foul. A curveball. And the count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes. So the bunt likely off now with Chang looking at a 2-strike count. Middle infielders will once again play a little bit back here. Miranda looks back at Romero for a quick sign here before he comes set. Lamb walked. He was sacrificed to second by Dylan Martin. Moved over to third on a single by Jake Bourne, who's now at first. 1 out. Here comes the 1-2. Called strike 3 on the outside edge, and Chang is called out on strikes. Big out there for Miranda, and with 2 outs and runners on the corners, J.J. Hollis will head up to the plate. He singled his last time up. Hollis, another one in that junior class. 6'4", 185 pounds, and again, he will be a gaucho in a couple of years. He's committed to UCSB. Hit a line drive base hit down the left field line back in the 5th inning. And has a chance to put the Lions ahead if he can do so again. He digs in. Strikeout in his first at bat. As we mentioned, he's 1 for 2 tonight. Miranda will fire to the plate. Breaking ball in there for a called strike. It's 0-1. Hollis not happy with that call, and neither was Brett Kay. For Kay, the beanie comes off. Either way, Hollis falls behind 0-1. And Miranda's put himself in a bit of a jam here. Trying to correct that. J Serra for the 3rd time tonight has a runner at third base. Jake Bourne gets a larger lead over there at first. He is being held by Gabe Miranda. Mikey Romero says something about it, starts making his way to second base to make sure that Bourne was not on the move. Borba playing closer to the line at third base with the right-hander at the plate. This curveball is just off the outside edge. It's 1-1, and sliding into second base goes Jake Bourne. So now 2 in scoring position here for the Lions. And it takes out the force pitch, or pardon me, the force play at second base if Hollis hits a ground ball. Now a base hit could score potentially 2 runs here for J Serra. 2 outs, top of the 6th. Runners at second and third, a 1-1 count here on J.J. Hollis. Here comes the pitch from Miranda. This one popped up, and that should get out of play. And will bounce off the top of the Lions dugout down the first base line. And the count goes to 1-2. J.J. Hollis, one of those kids, he plays third base, but you also might see him come out of the bullpen here for the Lions at some point in this series. Very talented on the mound as well, but right now they need his bat. 1-2, here comes the pitch. Breaking ball, this one a ground ball. Mikey Romero snares it. Will he have time? The throw to first. Got him! See him come out of the bullpen here for the Lions at some point in this series. Very talented on the mound as well, but right now they need his bat. 1-2. Here comes the pitch. Breaking ball. This one a ground ball. Mikey Romero snares it. Will he have time? The throw to first. Got him! What a play by Mikey Romero that takes us to the bottom of the 6th as J Serra goes down. No runs. One. Since 1976, Clark stocks all the parts you need for your import, domestic, and European vehicles. Radiators, brake pads, starters and alternators, oxygen sensors, shocks and struts, and all the fuel injection parts, plus a whole lot more. Name brand parts at discount prices. Come in or shop online at clarksap.com. And remember, at Clark's, we discount the discount. Friends, if you're looking for a summer high school level baseball program, join the Tustin Scorpions, whose focus is to help you get ready for your next high school season with 3 practices per week and weekend games. Join the Scorpion family. Always times like this, I wish that we had the ability to view replay here. That was a bang-bang play at first. Brett Kay was out of the dugout to go talk with the first base umpire afterwards, but first base umpire was pretty sure in that call as he called out J.J. Hollis down the first base line on a diving play and a throw by Mikey Romero that one-hopped into Gabe Miranda. Now J Serra will have to try to calm the momentum, which has swung into Orange Lutheran's favor here. After that defensive play, Casey Borbo will lead things off here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Might text our videographer and just see if maybe he has a sign one way or the other, if he's able to look at the replay on that. Borba 1 for 2 so far tonight. He singled his last time up. This one popped up, however. Infield, J.J. Hollis will call off the shortstop and make the catch for out number 1. So 1 pitch, 1 out. And that kind of takes the breath a little bit out of the sails of the Orange Lutheran faithful, as even I could hear a bit of a groan after that. Boy, what a back and forth game here tonight. And we have still yet to see a run cross the plate. Gabe Miranda steps to it now. The left-hander is 1 for 2 tonight with a base hit, his last appearance in the 4th. Here comes the first pitch from Champion. Fouled straight back, and off the backstop there, the count is 0-1. That hit again, more of a pop-up into shallow left field that Rodenberg had to really race for. Appeared to make a sliding attempt at that catch, but outraced it just a little bit as it bounced behind him. Here comes the 0-1. Fastball upstairs. It's 1-1. I have to say, Champion has been impressive tonight. Again, he's allowed 5 hits, but he has not walked a batter so far this evening. Everything that Orange Lutheran has gotten to this point has been earned. As Champion kicks and deals the 1-1. Fastball upstairs, fouled off straight back by Miranda. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. There's 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Both of these teams have had ample scoring opportunities. J Serra has had more of them. 4 times in this ball game they've had runners in scoring position, and 3 of those they've had a runner at third base. Miranda with the open stance awaits the 1-2 offering, but he will call for time. Stoic on the mound is Champion, who holds the glove on the left side of his chest and hangs that right arm down as he gets the sign from his catcher, Charlie Caruso. Here comes the 1-2 offering. Fastball, this one popped up as well, a bit deeper. This one will get into the outfield, but going back for it is Fuller, still backing up, and he will make the catch in mid-right center field for out number 2. So 2 up, 2 down here in the bottom of the 6th inning, and now Brian Martinez will head to the plate looking for a base hit. He's got one already. He's 1 for 2. Triple back in the 2nd inning. He flied out to center his last time up. The Long Beach State commit will try to get a 2-out rally started here for OLU as Champion looking for a 1-2-3 inning to get his offense back up. Here comes the first pitch, and that one misses. No, take that back. It's at the letter for a strike, and the count is 0-1. For Martinez, that triple, his first extra base hit of the season, as this one is cut on and fouled off into the field of play. Might have been in and out of the mitt there of Caruso behind the plate. The count goes to 0-2. That hit also his 4th of the year. He came in batting 167, looking to turn things around a bit early on in the year. If he's able to make it on base, Ben Ryland would be on deck. That fly ball by Martinez back in the 4th inning was deep out to center field. So deep, in fact, it got runners at 1st and 2nd to move up to 2nd and 3rd. Here comes the 0-2. Swung on and missed. A curveball there by Champion. And that's a quick 1-2-3 inning for J Serra defensively. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. We head to the 7th. We are scoreless between Orange Lutheran and J Serra. This is Lancers Baseball on CA Sports Zone and the coaches. Top of the 7th we go here between Orange Lutheran and J Serra. We are still scoreless. Something's got to give in this one as the Lions bring up Matt Champion, Lou Fujiwara, and Owen Fuller to face off against Evan Miranda. As both of these teams, we've mentioned it multiple times, they've had multiple scoring opportunities and have not been able to cash in yet. As the first pitch comes in on Champion, that one in there for a called strike. It's 0-1. J Serra came oh so close in the top of the 6th inning. Champion went out there and had a 1-2-3 bottom of the 6th, and let's see if he can start something here for the Lions. Evan Miranda trying to keep it scoreless here. This one a weakly hit ground ball back to the pitcher. Miranda will field it and fire to first base for out number 1. That one getting Miranda just off the mound toward the third base side of things. Nice clean throw over there, and Champion is retired for out number 1. Second time tonight the Champion has been retired by his opposing pitcher. Of course, the first time up was a squeeze bunt attempt that Oliver Santos was able to field, and now we go back to the top of the order with Lou Fujiwara. 0 for 3 tonight. He hit the ball hard his last time up, but right to Casey Borba at third base. Was able to catch it on a line. This first pitch is a sharply hit ground ball to second. Cummings picks it up, throws over to first, and I believe that's 3 pitches and 2 outs here for Evan Miranda to start the top of the 7th. So 2 outs, nobody on. Owen Fuller making his way to the plate, and this young man has been on base all 3 of his plate appearances tonight without the luxury of a base hit. He's walked twice, and he's also been hit by a pitch. And he's been thrown out twice on the base paths this evening as well. So still an eventful ball game here for Fuller as the senior digs in. First pitch from Miranda. This one also swung on and contact made but fouled off to the right-hand side. The count is 0-1. If Fuller can keep the inning alive, David Horn would be on deck. For the Lancers in the bottom of the 7th inning, Ben Ryland would lead things off. No balls, 1 strike. Here comes the pitch from Miranda. Swung on and missed. A fastball up in the zone. It's 0-2. Miranda trying for a quick inning here. If the Lancers are going to win tonight, it's going to have to be in walk-off fashion. This ballpark, again with its size and amount of foul ground, can really turn this into a pitcher's ball game. Is this one a line drive to first, and Miranda will make the catch before it hits the ground. He will step on first base just to be absolutely sure. And that will do it for the top of the 7th for J Serra. 1-2-3 frame for Evan Miranda. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. We are through 6.5 here at Hart Park, and we are still scoreless between J Serra and Orange Lutheran. The Lancers coming up for the bottom of the 7th in just a moment. This is Lancers Baseball on CA Sports Zone and the Coach's Radar. Lancer Baseball. No runs on 5 hits. He has struck out 3 and has not allowed any walks or hit batters so far tonight. It's been a great performance for him to this point. We'll see if maybe we can get an update here on his pitch count as well. Either way, he's been efficient tonight, which is a good sign here for J Serra after last night's ball game. Just what the doctor ordered as well if you're a J Serra coach, to watch your pitcher go out there and perform the way he has so far tonight. So Ben Ryland makes his way to the plate. 2 sophomores doing battle once again here to start off the bottom of the 7th inning. First pitch from Champion is a fastball in there on the outside edge to the left-hander for a strike. It's 0-1. 71st pitch for Champion right there. So he is good to go for at least 1 more inning here tonight. Ryland so far 0 for 2. Ground out and a pop out. 0-1 offering. Up and in. It's 1-1. Ryland was the only player in last night's game with a multi-hit performance, and that brought his average up to 333. 5 hits and 15 at-bats entering the ball game here tonight. Andrew Lamb squatting a bit out there in right field to keep the legs warm. Here comes the pitch. This one popped up and out of play to the left. It's 1-2. Orange Lutheran won game 1, 9-0, looking to win the series with a win here tonight. J Serra hoping to take a win here on the road and even the series 1 game apiece before the rubber match on Friday in San Juan Capistrano. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch upstairs, and the count evens out. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Just to the left side of center field is Brandon Chang. Everybody else playing pretty much straight up here for the Lions. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Champion, the number 7 prospect in California in the sophomore class as per PBR. Ben Ryland 2 spots down at number 9. He's playing left field tonight. Both of these guys with plenty of playing time last year as freshmen for these two teams. Here's the 2-2 curveball, maybe slipped out of the hands there. It's up and away on the left-hander, and it's a full count, 3-2. For the Lancers, Ryland would be somebody they would like to have on base to lead off the inning. He does have some speed, and they can do some things with him. Sawyer Vortman on deck. Carson Bowen also due up in this inning for Orange Lutheran. Here comes the 3-2. Fastball poked into left field, but that'll trickle foul out of play. Count remains full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Ryland about 5'8", 5'9". Infielder by trade, as we've mentioned before, but Eric Borba wants a spot for him in the lineup, so he's playing left field tonight. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Here comes the pitch once again from Champion. Check swing, no call. No call from the home plate umpire, and he's saying no. They will not appeal down to the umpire who was down the third base line, and they will award Ryland first base. Now they do, and he says no swing. And Caruso looks disappointed behind the plate. That one was close as Ryland got the bat off the shoulder, but really it was about right there at the plane where you would consider where where a full swing was made or not. It was about as close a check swing as we've seen in a while. And they give Ryland first base. So the leadoff guy is aboard here for Orange Lutheran, and Sawyer Vortman will step out before starting this plate appearance. He's 0 for 2 so far tonight. See what they do with Ryland here. He's got a short lead over at first base. Vortman, the right-hander, in another big situation here for Orange Lutheran. We told you already back in game 1 against Gar, as this pitch is in there for a called strike, just a bit off, or pardon me, just on the outside edge, and the count is 0-1, where Vortman had the eventual game-winning RBI in the bottom of the 6th. This time he was showing bunt, looking to sacrifice Ryland into scoring position. Ryland at first base is the 3rd time that Orange Lutheran has had its leadoff man aboard tonight. Champion will look over his shoulder at first, and in the meantime, Vortman will call for time. No balls, 1 strike, nobody out. Bottom of the 7th, a scoreless ball game between Orange Lutheran and J Serra. Ryland a short lead over at first, being held by Smaldino. Again showing bunt here is Vortman. Here's the pitch, and this one down the first base line. Ryland will get to second base, and the toss will go to first. Good job by Fuller to cover the bag as Smaldino tosses to him for the putout. And the Lancers have the game-winning run in scoring position as Carson Bowen will make his way to the plate. That'll go as a 3-4 putout. But more importantly, Ryland at second base with Carson Bowen, who was 1 for 2 due up. He had a bloop shot down the left field line back in the 3rd inning and a fly ball to center back in the 5th. Chase Cummings on deck. We're in the bottom of the order here for Orange Lutheran. Champion will look back at second base. Here comes the pitch. That fastball in there for a called strike. Might have caught a little bit more of the plate than Caruso wanted. But Bowen watches it go by, and he's behind 0-1. That walk to Ryland, the first that Champion has allowed tonight, and now he's in danger of allowing that one free pass to come around and become the game-winning run. Here comes the 0-1, fastball outside. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, Bowen's got some power, so Champion's got to be a bit careful here. Owen Fuller, the second baseman, will hold Ryland at the bag. Brandon Chang playing deep in center, just off to the left of dead center field. Here comes the 1-1. Fastball outside once again. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. Andrew Lamb is down to a squat down there in right field. I believe that's still Ricky Rodenberg out in left as well, playing a bit closer to the line. All infielders playing fairly deep. J.J. Hollis the closest to the bag at third base. 2 balls and 1 strike as Champion looks back at second, fires to the plate. Breaking ball, that misses a bit low. 3-1. And now Bowen's got a good hitter's count here with the runner in scoring position. And the Lancers have 5 hits tonight. J Serra with 4. But no runs for either. We're in the bottom of the 7th with 1 out. Game-winning run at second. A big pitch coming up here from Champion. Fastball popped up, fouling out of play. Bowen missed the opportunity there as he got underneath it, and the count goes full 3-2. Time to refocus and get back into it. The wind still blowing from left to right, which will likely knock down a ball that's pulled to left field. See what Champion and Bowen come up with here. Sophomore right-hander has his sign, looks back at second, fires to the plate. This one a bloop shot out towards right field. Lamb coming in for it. He will make the catch, and Ryland will stay at second base. As the throw goes to Fujiwara at short, he tries to chase him back into the bag, but Ryland gets there safely. And with 2 outs and a runner remaining at second, Chase Cummings has the opportunity here as he'll be due up next. Well, Bowen put it in play, just not deep enough for Ryland to move up. We'll see what Cummings can do here as Champion tries to push this into extra innings here at Hart Park tonight. And before this at bat, the infield will come in and have a chat here with the sophomore pitcher. Again, Ryland walked to lead off the inning. Vortman sacrificed him over to second base. Carson Bowen with a fly out to right. Again, 2 outs and a runner at second here for Cummings. Bottom of the 7th inning. Cummings tonight 0 for 2. A strikeout looking back in the 3rd and a ground out to 3rd. Back in the 5th inning. The senior second baseman with another opportunity for a walk-off. He had 2 of them last year. Here comes the pitch, and this one popped up, fouling out of play. To the right-hand side, the count goes to 0-1. Champion challenged him with a fastball right out the get-go, and he was just a bit underneath it. Should this game go into extra innings, the heart of the order due up for J Serra. David Horn would lead things off, and we'll see who Orange Lutheran brings out to pitch. Champion fires the 0-1. Here's a ground ball up the middle. Ryland's going to round third. Here comes the throw from Chang. It will not be in time. Orange Lutheran wins. Chase Cummings does it again. The senior hits a base hit up the middle. Ryland scores from second, and the Lancers improved to 7-0 on the year, and they take the series here from J Serra. They lead it 2-0, and they. Chase Cummings does it again. The senior hits a base hit up the middle. Ryland scores from second, and the Lancers improve to 7-0 on the year, and they take the series here from J Serra. They lead it. J Serra had more scoring opportunities here tonight, and a frustrating loss here for the Lions, but the Lancers find a way to pull through and keep their record unblemished here tonight. Chase Cummings, the hero, once again. He did it twice last year, and already once again here in his senior season. We'll be right back to recap this one in just a moment. The final score, Orange Lutheran 1 and J Serra nothing. The Lancers walk it off for win number 7 and a 2-0 start in league play. We'll be right back with more in just a bit. This is Lancers Baseball on CA Sports Zone and the Coach's Radar. Welcome back to Hart Park. The final score, walk-off fashion for the Lancers. Orange Lutheran 1 and J Serra nothing. Just a heartbreaking loss here for the Lions tonight. They had opportunities to take the lead and just couldn't quite do it. There was a controversial play over at first base in which J.J. Hollis was called out in the top of the 6th inning. I'm still not sure if I'm not sure which way I lean on that one still. I'm trying to see if our videographer got any inclination one way or the other either. It was a bang-bang play, but either way, with 2 outs and runners on the corners, a ground ball by Hollis that would have scored a runner from third. He was called out on a diving stop by Mikey Romero, who threw out the runner at first base. Again, very, very close. But either way, the call was out, and the game stayed scoreless. Of course, in typical fashion here, Steve Granato, who has been the voice of the Lions for 5 years and is moving on to a job in AAA, well-deserved, by the way, has been feeding me information over the course of the last half inning as well on behalf of J Serra, including that J Serra has not suffered a walk-off loss since March 2nd of 2019. It was a 5-4 loss in 8 innings against Vestavia Hills when they went out to Alabama, and it occurred on an error. So again, first walk-off loss for the Lions in more than 2 years. And for Matt Champion, who really pitched well and unfortunately got saddled with a loss he probably didn't deserve here tonight. He went 6 2/3 innings of work here tonight. That's a career high in innings pitched for him here at J Serra. Of course, he's just in his sophomore season, but boy, was he boy, did he pitch well here tonight. Again, going into the final inning of the ball game, had not allowed a walk until that leadoff walk to Ben Ryland, and unfortunately that was what came around to haunt him and score for the game-winning run for Orange Lutheran. The final line scores tonight for the Lancers: 1 run on 6 hits. No errors. Orange Lutheran left 4 on base, and on the other side for the Lions, no runs on 4 hits, no errors, and they left 8 men on base. So again, J Serra had plenty of opportunities. In 3 of those innings, they had multiple base runners. 4 times they had at least 1 runner in scoring position tonight, and 3 of those times they had a runner at third, and unfortunately just couldn't bring him around to score. Orange Lutheran, Chase Cummings finds a ground ball up the middle just out of the reach of Lou Fujiwara at short, and that ends up scoring Ben Ryland from second with 1 out. With 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th, and once again, Orange Lutheran improves to 2-0 in league play and 7-0 overall. The Lancers will try to go for the season sweep of J Serra on Friday in San Juan Capistrano. The Lions will try to salvage one of the 3-game set on Friday. They will have Tyler Goff to get the start, and he is a highly regarded right-handed pitcher, I believe ranked number 12 in the class in California by PBR. He will get the start on Friday. For Orange Lutheran, we're not 100% sure who will be the starter. Brady Strom was the name that was thrown out there earlier in the week. We'll see if the Lancers stick with that. The sophomore would get the start on Friday, if so, as these two teams close it out. The win goes to Evan Miranda, his 3rd of the year and 3rd out of the bullpen as well. Oliver Santos got the start, went 4 2/3 innings of scoreless baseball. He struck out 3 tonight, struggled a bit with the command. He walked a batter, and he also hit 3 batters tonight. He also allowed 3 hits while he was out there, but Evan Miranda came in, had a little bit of trouble in the 6th inning, but had a shutdown 1-2-3 7th, and Orange Lutheran was able to come away with the walk-off hit in the bottom half of the inning. On the other side, again, just a hard luck loss for Matt Champion, who again pitched 6 2/3 innings of brilliant baseball, allowed 6 hits, but the one walk was the one thing that killed him as it came around to score in the bottom of the 7th inning. Aside from that, Champion on the night had struck out 3, and again before that game-winning hit had allowed 5 base hits to that point. Once again, Orange Lutheran and J Serra will meet up on Friday, 6 p.m. at St. Pierre Field down in San Juan Capistrano to close out, the 3-game set. Afterwards, J Serra will move on to a 3-game series against Santa Margarita. Orange Lutheran will move on to a 3-game set against Servite. But not looking too far ahead. These two teams have one more game against one another. And J Serra will be looking to put some runs on the board. Orange Lutheran has shut them out through the first 14 innings of this series by scores of 9-0 and 1-0. So J Serra will definitely be trying to put some offense on the board down in San Juan Capistrano on Friday night. That'll do it for us here at Hart Park. Once again, the final score, Orange Lutheran 1 and J Serra 0. Chase Cummings walks it off for the Lancers with an RBI base hit to score Ben Ryland with 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th inning. And the Lancers remain unbeaten here in 2022. 7-0 overall, 2-0 in league play. J Serra 5-5 overall and 0-2 in league play. We'll see you on Friday. 5:45 we'll start here on CA Sports Zone and the Coach's Radar with a pregame show and a pregame guest as well. Until then, enjoy the rest of your Wednesday evening. Thank you so much for tuning in. For John Legg, my name is Nathan Percy. This has been Lancers Baseball on CA Sports Zone and the Coach's Radar. Good night, everybody. So long.